think you get it for free?
No, we good. We good.
Good?
We
Sure.
good. Yeah.
I know.
No. No, we good. We good.
Oh, at least a couple of more lines.
No, my guy. I promise you.
Yo.
Oh, this is the first time in a while that I saw the notification pop up on my phone that we live.
Aha. Yo.
so we are indeed live.
First of all, a big FU to every sort of useful app that I need to use to run any business endeavor I have for this one thing. Y'all be saying, and when this happens, you get a notification.
Oh, nigga.
I don't be saying half
the
the notifications, bro.
Bruh.
Where they be at?
It's not the case.
It's just
They just don't.
They just don't. They just don't. Like, y'all a bunch of bastards for real. Right?
Yeah.
I used to give an example. When we had the Amazon business, right? Killing collectibles and shit. We had the Amazon sellers app.
What up, sis?
Along with PayPal. What up, sis?
Oh, she said the same for her. This is the first time in a long time she got it too.
See? This is what I'm talking about.
That's crazy.
This is what I'm talking about. So every time we had a sale, if you turned the sound or audio on for it, ding, ding. You know how lovely that sound was?
Thanks.
Because yo. Sales, hello. Yo, let me tell you. Allow me to wax nostalgia just for a second about the era, the Kill 'em Collectibles era. This was a fun ass era. This was a fun ass era for us. That's probably the funnest business that I ever had part in owning and running. That right there. Yo, everything from going to the state fair, you know, going to the Fort Howard.
Yeah.
Nigga, like, yo, that was a fun era. I shot a little job commercial with my son and my nephew. Yo, that was a fun ass time, B.
Word.
I think the thing that made it even more fun was the hope.
Well, of course.
Hope.
Yeah.
Because we were selling them things, boy. We was on the corner selling them things. Try to get 2 for 10. What?
I mean,
yo, we was getting it in.
I was there.
You was there. You were at the beginning of the journey. You was there. We was getting it in. And the soundtrack to that era of time was the Amazon Sellers app and the PayPal app going ding, 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 ding. That's the soundtrack.
Thanks.
And depending on what time of the year, like around Black Friday, it was ding, 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 like a horror film. Ding, ding. Like Psycho and shit. Ding.
Thanks.
Oh, boy. What I would give for just give me a crack at 2 or 3 more businesses like that had that type of demand so I could get the soundtrack back. Nigga. Oh, Killer Collectibles was fire. It was fire.
Yeah.
And you motherfuckers ruined it. This is another reason.
I mean, wait, whoa. Hey, calm down. We not going scorched. That's not what this episode. Well, maybe parts of the episode. But that's not what this episode. Overall, that's not what this episode is about.
No, it's not. So it's what 4 after 11. I could do the intro now. It's not too late. Me, and me too.
Okay, all right.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ. And I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Also, I'm eating chips today. So yes, this is.
Why did you feel like it was important for you to?
I don't know. It just came to me.
Express that to the people. Okay.
No.
I swear. Okay.
All right. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Okay.
Chips. Hold up. Chips and dip.
Oh, okay. You special? You fancy, huh?
Listen. Listen. That's just delicious. But yeah, we like my daughter like to do. She got that shit from one of them cartoons she watched, where when she comes into the house from work or whatever, or gets down the steps, she goes, "I am here." It's from one of them cartoons she watches where the hero does that every time he enters a room. I am here. I said, okay. We are here. Another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks podcast.
Yeah.
Happy to have everyone aboard.
Absolutely.
To quote my man Cody Rhodes,
okay.
What do you want to talk about?
All right. God damn it. So we would be remiss to not mention this. This was not a part of the show. It's just shit happens sometimes, and we're not gonna spend no time on it. It just has to be brought up. It has to be mentioned. It has to be acknowledged.
Yes.
And I didn't even have to write a new banner for this because it's a topic that we've been talking about a lot for the last 2 or so months. We would be remiss. Again, we're not talking about this. It's not a topic. It's just that
it's acknowledgement.
It happened on the 4th of July. Matter of fact, let me read this post real quick because I just realized that I feel like it's a post that needs to be widely shared, and I feel like you have to. Some people might need to hear it rather than read it in order to understand. So, quick side note:
sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas.
To anyone who just feels the need, because we just had 4th of July pass. To anyone who feels the need to attack or question or judge why Black Americans celebrate American Independence Day, let me explain. Spoiler alert: we don't. New Year's Day, Valentine's Day, Juneteenth, Independence Day, Veterans Day, Christmas. These are all established holidays that have the same date every single year. But how often do you hear anyone refer to any of them as simply the date they were celebrated on? Never in your life have you heard, or will you hear, groups of people ask, "What are you getting your kids for 25th of December?" It was even taught to us in school as Independence Day, and we still don't do that. Also, what activities would one do to specifically celebrate this country's independence? And once you think of one, think of how many Black Americans that you see doing those things specifically on that day. It's simply a day where we can be off work, be around loved ones, and eat some good food. And you aren't advancing any movements by not doing those things. Stop being performative, dictated, not read management. So, back to the schedule thing. On 4th of July, Kendrick dropped the Not Like Us video.
The what video?
Not Like Us.
I hadn't heard that song. Wow.
So it was dope. The OV hoes are mad. Oh my
goodness.
No, listen, yo. The craziest thing is, up to this point, right? I have really only seen people's reactions to the Drake stands, right? No, we've gotten to a point where I'm actually seeing the Drake stands.
I'm glad you have, because I've been saying them the whole time. And might I say, how cringe! I can never look at you guys the same again.
Nah, bro. Listen, just a couple tweets that I found very interesting in one way or another. So actually, literally a couple. It's only two. All right. One, this is a little tongue-in-cheek, but a little not. You be the judge. Never teaching my kids to rise above. Going to teach them to be like Kendrick Lamar. If you're going to hate, you must commit. Employ visuals. Enlist your neighborhood. Call the NBA. Don't stop until everyone is dancing and laughing with you. Listen.
I can't disagree.
I mean,
especially if it depends on what we're talking about.
Like, yeah.
I got to say, rising, Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high thing.
And listen, I get it.
I understand what you're trying to
empathize.
It's what's the face? Mrs. Reagan saying, just say no. I get it.
Yeah.
But we don't live in that world.
Yeah.
No, people don't really
not really a thing.
People don't
actually, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I feel like I heard somewhere that she has since walked back on that a little bit.
Well, yeah, I think she's dead now, but yes.
No, not Reagan.
Oh, sorry.
Michelle Obama.
Good. I hope she has.
I think she's walked back on that some now.
Mrs. Obama, I hope you have, because there's a lot of us out there that respect you. We know the type of shit you had to go through.
Oh, nigga.
See, we was on the ground. You may have been insulated from some of it, but we was on the ground floor and we watched what the racists were saying about you.
Mm-hmm.
We saw all of the shit. So I don't want you to think this is us coming at you, because it's not.
Yeah.
But
no, not at all.
I hope you did walk that back, because see, you think that there's something that's counting balls and strikes.
Right.
What I'm telling you is that a lot of that shitty stuff that you were trying to rail against was effective for these people. It actually worked.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta fight fire with fire.
I mean, or to put it in more modern terms, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. So the other tweet was a very important one that the thing that spawned why I saved this tweet conflicted me, because on one end, my argument didn't conflict me in a normal way, but it's like the statement, "Oh, I'm so tired of hearing this song. Turn the song off." Now,
no.
The reason I'm conflicted is because on one hand, you could just not listen to the song, right?
Right.
But on the other hand, I miss this because here's the tweet: music is so cooked now that they're saying that Kendrick milking a song that has a life past 1 month.
Right.
Y'all are either babies or you have allowed the new landscape to brainwash you.
Yes.
This is what a hit song is supposed to do.
Can you imagine, yo?
It's just that it's two things. Two reasons why you don't recognize it if you're old enough. One is because back when it was the norm, we had a bunch of other hit songs doing the same thing.
Yep.
That's one. And obviously, two, y'all used to microwave hits now.
Yes. And there is something to be said. That entire thing that you just ran down is a microcosm of a larger issue that we've seen. Because y'all motherfuckers are quick to talk shit about Kendrick not dropping enough music. And what I'm telling all of you is that this conveyor belt era of music is poisonous and toxic to good music.
Yeah.
Why? Because back in the days, people didn't drop music like that.
Nah.
That gave the artists time to go tour, handle their business, and get their creative juices flowing again for another classic.
Yeah. Like
y'all got
literally a bunch of artists would get their music together, go on their promo run leading into the music. Music drops, continue their promo run, slight break, tour. While they're on tour, start writing the new project.
That's right.
That was the cycle. And the worst part about this is I did some numbers at the height of this Drake and Kendrick thing about release frequency from some of the top hip hop acts over the last like 10 years or so. Even it's still not what you think it is. Drake is an anomaly.
Yes,
it's not what like the average.
He still was dropping more than a bunch of folks.
Yes, 1000%. The average is not Drake.
No,
like the frequency with which he puts out music was a standard deviation of like 1 or like 1.5 albums over everybody else's per year average.
Right.
Like that's not. I guess maybe part of it that has y'all confused is people doing features with other people.
Well,
so you hear that.
Probably what it is. But also, to be clear, there are some artists out there that are spreading. How can I put this? They're not spreading their music out. So they have music. They could wait and let one have a run, but they so scared a lot of times that people gonna forget about them. It's not. They want to stay in the algorithm, that sort of shit. That they feel like they got to release it, and you really don't. And honestly, even with the increase of a lot of artists putting music out, or you hearing them more on other people's shit, Drake still released way too much.
Yeah,
way too much.
Yeah, and there's a whole argument of logic that goes with that, to where certain parts of that are, I don't want to say a good thing, but not a bad thing. But that logic, if you follow that logically, it leads to the idea that Drake can't possibly be at the top of rap. Right. Because of what these things mean. But anyway, we're not talking about this. Right. We're not talking about this. So the big topic of the episode is actually
what's that?
The BET Awards. And not the BET Awards themselves, because we don't watch award shows. But for those who don't know, BET does this thing. I'll say this thing like it's not a popular concept. BET has a Lifetime Achievement Award that they give out basically every year. It's not exactly every year, but basically every year. And this year, Usher was the recipient. Absolutely well deserved. Nobody's arguing that. But there has been a debate online about the actual tribute.
Hold up, real quick, before we even, because that's a conversation. Just putting this out there. I do have a certain amount of psychological difficulty with the idea that something referred to as Black entertainment television is not owned by Black people.
Oh, well, yeah.
Putting that out there because
interestingly, reports have come out that they are about to sell it to a group that is at least led by a Black person.
Let's hope. Because
and not like the Tyler Perry shit, like these are actual reports, not just rumors that somebody said one time. No, these are actual reports.
Well, Bill Cosby was going to buy NBC. I heard he was going to buy. There are actually reports that Paramount is in talks with selling with some group about selling BT. So we'll see what ends up with that. But yes, no, absolutely, 1000%. So I don't know exactly what it is. Okay, I'm going to read this article first. That's where I'm going to start. Okay. Because the article is necessary for the rest of the conversation. We're gonna get into it.
I think. All right. If I'm gonna do a what's the word? I'm gonna make a prediction.
Okay.
I think we're going to be on different sides of this argument.
I don't think so. I think for part of it, but I think overall, what I have to say, you're probably gonna agree with that. I'm just saying.
All right. Let me read the article. BET feted the creative legacy of Usher Raymond IV with a tribute that included performances from Victoria Monet, Coco Jones, Chloe Bailey, Summer Walker, Tinashe, Tiana Taylor, Marsha Ambrosius, and more. I feel like never mind. Let me shut up. Let me read this article before. The medley of hits touched on every moment where Usher mesmerized us. It followed the evolution of a career that has gone from Moesha cameos to center stage at the Super Bowl. It dived into the My Way area and swam into 8701, eventually plunging into the depths of the Technicolor crunk years that found him making classic confessions. Childish Gambino kicked things off by introducing Keke Palmer, who wore an interpretation of one of Usher's most iconic outfits while performing You Make Me Wanna. The tribute was full of natural successes to Usher's talent and charisma. They picked up his affectations and nodded at the habits he picked up during his Las Vegas residency. He smiled and nodded approvingly as they led the crowd in appreciating the icon. Social media cried foul at the range of talents who came together to celebrate the genre's heavyweight. They questioned the lineup and argued that other names would have been better suited to celebrate the man who gifted us Bad Girl and Caught Up. The majority of their suggestions were men. Some of them are popular, some of them used to be popular. Most of them had little qualifications beyond half a decent SoundCloud single and penis. People name dropped several artists. People name dropped several artists who have faded from the fleeting public memory. They brought up their vocal capabilities and performance prowess, not because they were legitimate competition for the women dominating the stage, but because they were male and therefore more qualified. These people were not thinking about these men nor their stilted discographies before they saw Black women gleaming in the spotlight. Some went as far as to outright ask where the male performers were, as if a valid tribute could not be performed without them. Once again, Black men were only being uplifted for the purpose of minimizing Black women. If these men were so in demand, they would be the ones garnering all the attention and the offers, but they're not. Nothing about having a uterus disqualifies you from being able to sing and dance in tribute to Usher. Artists do not have to be the same gender or in the same genre to appreciate one another. That's not how art works. As tends to be usual, Black women artists were maligned while putting forward stellar performances, experimenting in their craft, and doing things artists from any other demographic get to do without so much as a bed of an eyelash. These artists demonstrated their commitment to celebrating their OG with passion and creativity. They rehearsed, studied, and executed. Palmer's bust down did not prevent the A-cap from fitting right onto her head as she kept up with the choreography. Taylor's pouty lips and angled cheekbones were not in the way as she tapped into a masculine energy with a forceful grace. Jones's mellow tone and enviable curves did not stop her from being just as capable of executing an in-crowd seduction as Usher, just as NLE Chopper. Lotto served up the same playful but commanding energy as Ludacris on Yeah. Award shows are not only about talent, they are about heat. The women assembled on stage are some of the hottest performers in the R&B space right now. They are at the top of their games. They dominate the streaming charts, cultural conversations, and the news cycle. Why shouldn't they be tapped to shine light on Usher's impact? Who would consider it smart to usurp them for someone else just because they happen to be male? Usher has a history of being one of the most influential artists in music. His dance moves have been recreated on social media in skits, and in one particularly hilarious episode of the short-lived but memorable Grand Crew. His lyrics turn even the most stuck-up crowds into full-fledged sing-alongs. If you find it unthinkable to assume that his influence could be interpreted and celebrated by women, that's really more of a you problem. Okay. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
Allow me. Now, let me make some caveats.
That's how I start. That's literally the first part of my note says. First of all, a couple caveats.
I'm just saying, make a couple caveats. Because I don't want you to hear what I'm not saying, but I also want you to have context and why I'm saying it.
Right.
I am not an Usher fan. Let me explain what that means. For me, a fan is somebody who they listen to the music all the time. They know almost everything about said artists, whatever. I don't. I'm not a fan of Usher. I do like Usher's music.
Right.
Usher has a bunch of to quote Sheamus from WWE, banger after banger after banger. But I am not emotionally invested in him as an artist,
right?
Or really any R&B artist,
right?
Not.
Yeah, that's not really your. Yeah,
not my juice. So
yeah.
So I want that to be clear. That me also means that I don't know who's the hottest, who has the algorithm on lock right now. I don't know in that genre. I don't know which one it is. What I will say to you is that I feel some of the critiques, some of the criticisms. Well, here's the other thing. I prefer to watch women. I'm just putting it out there. Even when I use my chat bots, the ones that you can talk to mobilely, I always choose a female voice. I don't want to listen to a bunch of niggas all day. I don't.
Freaky ass nigga, you a 69 guy.
I'm just saying, like, yo, my chat GPT mobile thing, that's a woman's voice. And I tried to find the blackest type of voice I can find on that motherfucker, right? Right? You know what I'm saying? Right?
You had to say that part.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it is this much to me in the same way where it's not, I don't get put off at the scene in Avengers. Right. That shit don't. The shit I saw niggas pulling their hair out and swearing to be incels for the rest of their life over that shit. That shit does not affect me. I'm like, get it. I want to see that.
Facts.
If it's true though that these people that went up there and performed are they're the easy to block captain of R&B. They're the algorithm.
I can't
right?
stand you.
Of course, it makes sense. Business-wise, put as many eyes on your product as you possibly can by tapping into their headlock, right, on the algorithm and putting them up there. And since it's true that you don't need to be a certain sex to appreciate an artist's music and do a tribute. I saw women doing tributes to Michael Jackson, Prince. Of course. That should go without saying. Women listen to their music too.
Thanks.
That should go without saying. For those arguing in good faith, who legitimately think that this ain't about you. This about that ever-increasing crowd, ever decibel raising crowd of men out there who every fucking thing women do, you got your jaws tight.
Right.
You salty. Because some of you motherfuckers legitimately think you're at war with women.
Yo.
And you can't convince me that that's not what you think. Because you take every opportunity to kick dirt in their face.
Yo. That's real competition. You might pop ass with them.
Yo, listen. Y'all both think y'all bad bitches. Listen. Look. Every time, bro, you'd be surprised the amount. And I know why some of it is of stuff that I get sent from people thinking I'd rock with that.
Right.
Which is some critical critique about women or some shit. I know why, because there was a time in my life where I was on that.
Yeah,
you know what's consistent with that time period, though? I was angry as shit. I had some bad breaks, and I allowed those bad breaks from specific people to then color the way I was seeing everything.
Mm-hmm.
When I got older and more mature, saw life what it really was. No, that was those women.
Yeah.
That's not all.
Facts.
Right? So I didn't carry
that's supposed to go.
That's how it's supposed to go. So I didn't carry with me this, I'm raising my flag and I'm marching into battle against the fear of sex. What the fuck is wrong with some of y'all?
Yo.
Some of y'all, that's why I told you that some of the stuff I'm gonna say, I think when you hit the way I said,
of course.
Because that's what I'm attacking. All right.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that a bunch of you motherfuckers was doing that because I see you do it with other things.
Right.
If they do a movie and a woman has your favorite genre of movie and it happens to be a woman that's the main protagonist, oh, I can't say this girl power.
Wait, stop. No nigga in the history of niggerdom has ever said the sentence, I can't take this girl power.
Listen, they might as well have.
I understand the sentiment. You're right about the sentiment. I'm just saying, nigga. Yo, that sentence is funny as fuck.
Listen, some of you niggas out there looking like Mojo.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all, like you beefing with the Powder Puff Girls,
right.
And you mad, and they keep ruining your shit or whatever plans you had. Now y'all out this motherfucker ready to go to war. Y'all remind me of all the demons that went against the Power of Three and Charmed. Y'all niggas. I'm gonna tell you something that goes along with this. That's something that me and a dear friend of mine long said a long time ago about both sexes. If you like women, you're going to have to acknowledge that with the good comes the bad because they're people. That shit just comes with the territory of you liking women. You're going to have to deal with it. Same on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not talking about extreme cases of motherfuckers being abusive. No. We're just talking about those little things, those little annoying aspects of what being a man is, right? That annoys a woman, but she likes men. Mm-hmm. So you're just going to deal with it. Guess what?
I see that sentiment expressed online all the time.
All the time, bro.
Like this is one cosplayer, and she made a post for Pride. And it was people wishing her happy Pride. And she was like, she did a whole video. She was like, listen, I love you guys and I appreciate all the well wishes and blah, blah, blah. But I'm not a part of the crew.
Right.
Unfortunately, I like men.
That's hilarious.
Thanks.
That's hilarious. Listen, and I'm glad you brought that up. This is the other part about that. Even in those circles, what I'm finding, right? Women that like women, men that like men, they're dealing with similar shit.
Oh, yeah, because it's a human problem.
It comes with you like male. What's up, Cindy? It comes with
what up?
You liking this particular sex. There's certain idiosyncrasies that probably are baked in through society, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You got to take it because we're adults and we know you can't always have ice cream for dinner. That's just what it is. You can, but your waistline gonna suffer. You're probably gonna get diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Like you can, right? Look, Chrissy say, Chrissy, hold up. Chrissy say, I always joke and say that's how those sexualities.
Facts.
Listen, Cindy holla. Don't tell my husband that.
We all scream for ice cream.
We all scream for ice cream. Listen, I scream for ice cream too. What I'm saying is, some of you guys, you have overplayed your hand.
Yeah.
It's one thing about having a legit criticism, personal criticism about shit you have experienced with certain women, and even going so far as to ponder if this is a thing that's just common amongst the breed. All right.
Yeah. Facts.
Some of y'all have played your hand. And it typically, every time there is something that is algorithmically worthy of being noticed by a lot of people, I see you guys, if there's anything to do with women, I see you guys bringing all your heartache and all your wallet getting lighter and all your, she cheated on me with this, that, all of that. Or she wouldn't let me see my kid. All of that, I see y'all bringing it to that shit. Y'all be bringing it to it in the form of these little zesty comments about women. So my position on this whole thing is that Usher's a fucking superstar. He doesn't just have male fans. He probably has more women fans than he has male fans, right? And that women artists can appreciate a male artist, even be influenced by them enough that when they get popular in their given field, it makes sense they might want to come out and pop out and show niggas. And it makes sense that the show's producers will go, you know how many likes she be getting on her Instagram shit, on her Twitter shit, on there. Put her in front of that motherfucking camera, go up there and do one of Usher's little goofy ass dances. Have her go up there and do that shit. She better put on the same clothes that he had on or some shit, right? That just makes sense. Some of you are not attacking that for the reasons you're saying. Some of you are attacking that because you're at war with women. And anytime you see the party with a bunch of women up there, instead of thinking like me and a lot of my friends, it's like, oh shit, this is interesting. Instead, you go, curses foiled again. Y'all gonna have to chill with that. Y'all gonna chill. And I saw, thanks to SBJ, I saw the segment. Thought they did a good job, but maybe I'm not the one to judge because this is not my. I thought they did a good job. Hey, okay. Usher tribute to Usher. I think what's more worthy is what they tried to do to Usher when he got up there and spoke on social media.
Goodness.
I saw you niggas doing that. Taking certain words he said out of context. I saw you niggas doing that. Just saying. I was zesty. They were trying to fuck him. And then bringing up Diddy. I saw y'all doing that. Don't nobody want to program for your musty asses. And that's my take. That's my take. That's my take.
All right. First of all,
possibly disagree.
I disagree with everything you just said because wait. Because I think that you're fighting the wrong argument. I agree. What up, Discord? I agree with your findings.
Oh, okay.
I agree 100% with your findings.
What up, Discord?
I agree 100% with your findings. I think we're having a different conversation.
Probably so. That was my interpretation.
Yes, I get it.
I saw. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all mad at this?
And I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. That's why I was so adamant about having this be the topic. All right, so I need you to be so instead of a normal situation, because I gave you, because sometimes we do these topics in a way where we like just take turns saying our thing. but sometimes it's more interactive. Yeah, I want you to do the interjections.
Got you.
While I'm giving my take.
Got you. The agreement.
Whatever pops up.
Whatever pops up. Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, whatever pops up. So, first of all, a couple caveats. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me what the fuck to do. That's number one. That's number one. Sorry. It's number one.
Hold up. You don't like when people tell you what the
fuck? Number two, my argument is not that none of the people who performed in that tribute belonged up there. Mm-hmm. And that's not the argument of the trending. That's not what was trending.
Oh, okay.
Next, I'm not mad about the tribute.
I know you're not.
No, these are caveats.
Okay.
These are caveats. This is more about people who didn't perform than the ones who did.
Got you.
I have the benefit of hindsight, but so did the person who wrote this article. And to imply that all of the performances were just so great is biased at best.
Right.
I'm mad at your ridiculous article fanning the flames of the social war between black men and black women. Because you have a way bigger platform than any of that incel group of people that you were focusing on. Mm-hmm. Because again, that was not what the larger conversation was.
Right.
Yes, absolutely there were people saying that shit. Because there are always going to be people saying that shit. As you pointed out, like that there is no way, there's no scenario that exists where women being on display and showing out is not going to incur hate.
Yo, what's that shit? What's that scene in Avengers when Loki was standing over top of all those people and the man was like, men like you come along and do blah blah blah. Loki
there are no men like me.
And the old man said, there are always men like me.
All right, so let's get critical. Actually, wait, before this article, my take on the article overall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like she is being triggered by the few people instead of trying to understand what the people in good faith are actually arguing.
Could be. That's the reason why I said that for those arguing in good faith, I don't.
Right.
But I know some of you motherfuckers.
Oh, nigga. No, listen.
Don't.
There is no scenario that exists.
Niggas musty. There's niggas out there. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks. Before I get into critiquing what happened at the show, let me give my criteria for an artist being able to participate in a tribute for a legend, because that's what this is. There is precedent. We can't. That's my biggest, like, ad hominems aside, my biggest issue with the article is there is precedent for these things.
Right.
I personally feel you should fit into one of, if not more, of the following categories. And these categories I'm about to say are in order of importance.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a legacy connection with the legend.
Agreed.
Someone who is an important part of their story. Examples of this are mentors, mentees, group members,
family that might be artists.
Family. I think that is pretty clear why that category is there. The next category, frequent collaborators. Mm-hmm. Those who are not in an official group, but make a substantial amount of music together. I arbitrarily put the number at 5 songs.
Right.
Over a career. That's the obvious intentional collaborator.
Yeah.
The reason for this category is almost the same as the other one, because you're tied to that person's career. The next category,
big ass songs too.
Yes. Next category is contemporaries. Those who were making noise at the same time, especially those who started around the same time. More points if there is some type of rivalry there. Right. The reason for this one is that they know the landscape of the industry when that person, what up, Betty? The reason for this one is that your contemporaries had firsthand knowledge of the landscape of the industry when you were doing your thing.
Tell the truth.
What up?
They had to fight against your ass.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Listen, and you kicked a bunch of their ass because here's the thing. For this type of honor, you had to be the shit.
Right.
So yeah,
many nights I was punching at the air. This
right. They had to deal with you wilding out on their asses quite a few times. They had to deal with you coming around and shutting shit down.
You jumping out, popping up and showing niggas like, what? Now I can't release my shit on this date because this motherfucker released this shit. Yeah.
Next category is infrequent collaborators. Mm-hmm. Self-explanatory. The next category, artists who have a similar impact or they have shared cultural moments. Okay. So they have done some legendary shit as well. Right. Or some record-breaking shit as well while this person was doing their thing. Not necessarily that they're contemporary and they was there from the beginning, no shit like that. Right. But their careers happened to concurrently exist and they were making noise as well while you were doing your thing. And the last category of importance is being hot or relevant in the moment. Because that is an important thing. That's an extremely important thing. However, for a tribute, especially given precedent, it's the least important thing. You have to make sure it's there.
Yes. It has to
you cannot ignore it. That's not a thing. I mean, some tributes have, and it's been okay. But if we're still considering the fact that these places are businesses.
Yep.
And if we want to do the whole art thing, you're paying it forward in a way.
Also, gotta say, maybe a lot of those considerations that you mentioned weighed differently in the past than in the current era of the attention economy. The considerations in the
I have a question.
Marketing boardrooms are different now than they used to be a decade ago.
Mm-hmm. What would you say now is?
Now?
No, what would you say now is?
Now?
Yeah, what year? Give me an arbitrary.
I would argue at the very least it's 2024. I think we've seen a ramping up because of the way streaming services operate and all of these things. Probably, I want to say 6-7 years.
All right. So, moving on to the actual performance. Let me give my opinion on this tribute. I think it was decent.
Hold up. I want everybody to know he's about to give his tribute and why you should take it seriously. I mean, his opinion of tribute and why you should take it seriously. This is shit.
Oh, nigga.
This is shit. All right? Yeah, like I said, when I watch this shit. I grew up on this shit. When I watch it, I just see people singing and dancing. Oh, yeah, okay. Right? It's not like this is a hip-hop thing going on or a rock battle or some other shit that I've been really into. I'm like, oh, sorry. This nigga knows. He knows. He knows.
So it's not one of the best tributes I've seen. The problem is,
what's the problem?
I can't definitively say it was not the worst tribute I've seen, but I can definitively say that it's nowhere near
the best.
The worst. No, nowhere near the worst performance that I've seen.
Okay.
Because they are inherent. There are things that should be a part of a tribute that don't matter in a regular performance.
Like, Agreed.
So I can't say it's not the worst tribute, but I can absolutely say it's not close to being the worst performance.
Right.
Throughout the performance, and I think another reason that I hate the article is because I feel like she's being disingenuous with her writing, with some of the things she's saying. For instance, in that first paragraph where she names the people who gave tribute, she skipped over Childish Gambino. She did not mention him. Yeah. Then when she mentioned him, she said he introduced Keke Palmer. This nigga performed the song. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
That's what he did.
Right. So that's kind of a part of my point as well. Nobody is saying that there were no men.
Right.
It's more the actual argument is more about who was not there versus then who actually performed. So I can't throughout the performance, the camera flashes back to Usher several times. She in the article said you could tell that he enjoyed the whole thing. No, several times it flashed back to him, and you could tell he was not impressed.
I saw it.
Several times.
I saw him with the regular weed face. It's regular weed.
Now, before I go into individual performers, I would like to say I'm not actually attacking any of them, except a little bit for the one who has both an X and a Y chromosome. My critique may be of the performance, but my issue lies with the people who put it together, not with the performers.
Right.
And in those instances, I'll explain why. So it will also express this part of the article, the specific part of the article. Quote, award shows are not only about talent, they are about heat. The women assembled on stage are some of the hottest performers in the R&B space right now. They are at the top of their games.
Is that true? Is that a true statement? That's what I want to know.
We're going to go through them individually. We're going to get to them. They're at the top of their games. They dominate the streaming charts, cultural conversations, and news cycle. Why shouldn't they be tapped to shine a light on Usher's impact? Who would consider it smart to usurp them for someone else just because they happen to be male? All right, let's get into these performances. Donald Glover, a.k.a. Childish Gambino. I didn't like it. I didn't like his performance. He didn't seem to know the words at points, and he did a cover instead of a tribute. He changed the arrangement of the song, and I do not prefer that during a tribute performance. Like, it's fine if you're just doing a cover. Like, if you're doing, because he has this amazing cover of I think Tamia Into You. That's when people really first found out that he could actually sing.
Right.
Because he did that cover. Amazing cover. I ain't mad at that cover, but that wasn't during a fucking tribute show. That was him doing a cover of a good song.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with covers in general, but call me conservative. But I feel like a tribute to someone getting a Lifetime Achievement Award is not the time to say, hey, I know this is how you structured this song, and it's a part of why you're being honored today, but I think I can do it better. I don't think that's the time to do that. Me personally.
Let me ask you this about that specific. I have seen tributes, whatever you want to call them, where motherfuckers do montages of motherfuckers' discography.
Medleys, if you will.
Perfect way to describe that. They don't be even the chunks that they're using of the original songs. I can detect differences in what they did.
All right, so you are an individual. You are still an artist. At the end of the day, you're an artist. Keep in mind, you're sensitive about your shit.
Facts.
But there's different singers have different singing styles.
Absolutely.
That's fine. That's not the same thing as changing the structure of the song. Singing the words slightly different, having a different inflection or having a different run, that's fine. I like that. Yeah, I'm not.
I've seen both ways though. Like I've seen them cut out lines to get to.
No. I'm talking about timing structure.
Oh,
like, gotcha. Not like it's
the time signature.
Right, because we have a limited amount of time. Yeah. And tributes inherently, generally, have a bunch of people performing. Yeah. You're not going to sing full songs. You're going to cut some verses. Like, if you want to cut some verses in half, that's fine. But what Childish Gambino did is, in the chorus, there's line, break.
Right.
Line, break.
Right.
He did something like line, break.
Break
line. Like he did it weirdly. It seemed like it threw the musicians off, which is crazy because they rehearse these things.
You would think.
No, I mean listen. We're gonna still man her article.
Yeah, okay.
She said they rehearsed and such and such and such. Okay, so they rehearsed these things. The band shouldn't have been caught off guard.
That's true. It's true.
Because if we gonna keep it funky, not to say that Childish Gambino is an amazingly talented human being, one of the most talented. Listen, but we just talked about skill. He is one of the most talented people on the world.
Yes.
So, but, there's nothing you can do to convince me that a singular singer doing their job on stage, which is singing, is more talented than the conglomerate of the band. The band is doing what the band is responsible for, doing so many more things than you are responsible for doing in this moment. Not to say, again, we're not downplaying his talent. That's not the point. But I say that to say, if anybody's confused, it shouldn't be the band.
It shouldn't be the band, right?
It shouldn't be the band.
Also,
and if they are, it's probably not their fault.
It's gonna if the band is confused and fucked up, it's gonna fuck up your
performance.
It's
going to show.
Yes. It's going to fuck up your performance.
Yes. Yeah. So, but anyway, on top of that, he gave a speech that night that really made a point. Mm-hmm. He talked about how he has more Grammys than Will Smith, but for some reason he's tied for BET Awards with Sam Smith. And whether you want to approach that, whether you want to approach that from, we're not gonna get into it, but whether you want to approach that from the angle of BET doing something wrong, or from Donald Glover doing something wrong, right. It's a good conversation to have. It has potential for a really good debate. And then he laid this turd of a performance honoring one of our black icons. That bothered the fuck out of me. I cannot figure out. So I can't figure out why he was in the tribute. I don't know
all
any connection.
Respect, you have no respect.
Listen, bro. I cannot figure out why he was in the tribute. I do not know of any connection to Usher. I've never heard him talk about Usher. Yes, he sings every now and then, and he is talented, but he is not a singer by trade. No, they don't have any songs together. He has music. He does have music out and an album out and an album coming out.
Yep.
But he doesn't seem to be making any moves on the charts anywhere. So the attention that he is getting is simply because he is Donald Glover.
To quote, I know he has a movie or some shit, right? Coming out, some movies will be having coming out. To quote him in that Spider-Man, the first something. You're gonna have to get better at this. You got to get better at this part of it. Because listen, I was under the impression I knew that he had an album coming out only because fairly recently I saw something on YouTube that he had an album coming out.
Yeah.
And I think it's a movie too. So this might be his people, his management people, trying to get his face
right
and everything.
And that I hate that when you're not a new artist.
Right.
For a tribute.
Yeah.
Putting on the show, absolutely, of course. Right. That's what you're supposed to. For a tribute, I hate that if you're not a new artist. If it is not that you are hot and relevant, it's that you're trying to be hot and relevant.
Right.
And you're not a new artist, you don't belong in the fucking tribute if you have no other connection to the person. I feel. It's my personal opinion. So the next performance, Keke Palmer. Off the rip, I get why she was included. And I'm fucking here for it. If nothing else, for the sheer pettiness of her being there, performing a song with the lyrics, you make me want to leave the one I'm with. Though she isn't really a singer by trade, she can also sing. Now, I didn't really like this particular vocal performance. I wish she would have sung a different Usher song.
Right.
But I'll forgive that for the reasons I stated above.
Yeah.
She fits into the category.
Petty Murphy.
She absolutely fits into the category of a shared cultural moment.
Yes.
And she does have some type of connection to him because she is on record stating that Usher is an influence for her. And she's absolutely on record.
And we can't listen. We can't also. We have to remember that. I mean, at least for me, I'm always there for a bit of petty. And if she out there being hot stuff petty,
absolutely
hot stuff petty Gilbert, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm glad that she had the performance that she had because I want it to be clear.
Right.
It's not just that this is a nuanced thing for me. Right? I didn't necessarily enjoy her vocal performance.
Right.
I enjoyed the fact that she was there though. And I know the connection, and I know the connection she has to him.
Right.
So I mean, hey, listen.
True, Cindy.
What up, GA?
What up, GA?
So
in here, bro.
So, like I said, I get why she was there. I enjoy her being there. Yes, 100%. Next, Summer Walker. I don't know the song she sang.
I don't even know the person. I just saw her sing.
Well, I don't really have any notes on the performance. It was okay. Mm-hmm. There is a connection though. They have songs together. Maybe that's one of those songs they have together is the song she performed. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they have songs together. Also, remember the category about shared cultural moments or similar impact?
Yes.
Let me read you a list of her hot R&B songs Billboard chart records. Mm-hmm. She has the 5th most top 10 hits in history with 20. She has the 7th most chart entries, period, with 41. Mm-hmm. She is tied 4th with herself. Yes, meaning she's on there twice.
Right.
And 2 others for most top 10s from a single album with 7. And she has the 2nd most simultaneous songs in the top 10 with 6. That's legendary shit.
Yeah.
You can't argue the numbers.
Yeah.
I definitely get why she was included. She is an infrequent collaborator with him because they have songs together.
And what is her algorithmic?
I don't know. I don't think she's doing nothing right now, but she does have an album. I think she does have an album coming out.
See, this is how things have changed, right?
Yeah.
Changed things. No, things have changed, right? Because we're at a point because this is the attention economy. Mm-hmm. You don't necessarily have to have an album out, or a movie coming up. If you are making an impact on social media,
right?
For a lot of people, that's enough. I'm gonna get a classic example. But Amanda Seales. Now, long before some of the controversy started to come out there, she's a comedian. Did she have a Netflix series or some shit?
Right.
None that I've seen. But she was making such an impact on social media with her opinions and this, that, and the third, and all of that, that I'm pretty sure if there was something lined up that she was qualified to do, they might have tapped her to do some comedic shit somewhere because of the impact online. Even though this is difficult, trust me, as artists that know and have been content creators, it's difficult to move one to next. But it still makes sense to do because
you gotta try.
Yeah, they will clip up whatever that performance is and show it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And her people who are rabid for her will watch it and they'll get numbers that way. So
thanks. But again, this one wasn't about being as popular. Right. This one was about, like, she has 2 other connections to them.
Right.
So like that's I have no issue whatsoever with her being there. The next performance, Coco Jones. I don't really know why she was there, but I'm going to exercise my bias. She is my favorite artist who performed in this tribute. And then when I take bias out, I think she had the best performance.
Right.
So this is a name I would have never chosen ahead of time. Mm-hmm. But if there wasn't any controversy around the other participants, I wouldn't have questioned why she was there.
So to be clear, you don't know of any connection
No.
Yes. But so could this have been an algorithmic thing?
I don't think so. I don't think. All right, so put it like this.
Like, is she streaming well?
I don't know. Nothing that I've seen in my research makes me believe that she was there because her numbers are outstanding.
Interesting.
That's not to say that she's not bubbling.
Right.
It's like nothing makes me believe that she's boiling, but she's definitely simmering. There's no question around that, because I kind of
raging
know.
I don't even
but
like
she absolutely listen.
Raging boil. I don't like.
Yeah, no, that sounds terrible.
Yeah,
she's absolutely at least simmering. I could just be missing out on something.
Right.
But from what I've seen, she. Remember the Fresh Prince reboot?
Yes,
she's in that show.
Oh.
She plays Hillary in that show.
Yeah, she does. And then I sit back and think about it. However, I don't think that could be what it is, because that was
no. I'm just saying she's in the zeitgeist. It's not like
until you said it, now I see it.
She's in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
This isn't a situation. When I say I don't really know why she was there, this is some unknown artist and blah. No, that's not what I mean.
Right.
I'm just saying, based on the argument that the writer of the article was making, it doesn't seem like she's in the highest position in the world right now.
Right.
But after seeing her performance, again, partially because she's my favorite artist that performed for the tribute.
Of course.
But on top of that, I think she killed her performance.
Right. Then on top of that, she had a good performance. Yeah.
Right. I didn't question
mad.
No.
So that also leads to another question. How much weight does the quality of the performance have versus the connection to him versus algorithmic shit?
All right. In my opinion, the problem with that question is you can only assess the quality of the performance in hindsight.
Sure.
So you can't really hold anybody accountable for that. Now, if we're talking only hindsight, if the performance isn't great, I feel like you better have a super connection with the person.
That's what I want to know, because I am thinking about after the performance. Like,
if the performance wasn't great, you better have been some type of connection.
Yeah, because when you first you're gonna be like, what the fuck is they doing up there?
Right.
And then after they kill it, if they
demolish it, that's exactly what happened. The first time I watched her performance, Chrissy sent me her performance isolated.
Right.
And I watched it, and when I heard her singing, I'm like, why is she singing an Usher song? This was before I even knew that he was getting a Lifetime Achievement. No, I'm like, why is she singing? Then I just shut up and watched. I'm like, oh, well, Coco did her damn thing.
Right.
I didn't think twice about why she was doing the Usher song at that point. So I think absolutely a good performance, because as I said earlier, with why the hot / relevant category needs to exist is because this is art, and if we're being artists, we need to pay it forward in some way, shape, or form. Right. If you don't take advantage of that, you fucked up, you failed, and by having a good performance, you took advantage of that shit.
Yeah, this also goes to show you the benefits of popping out and showing niggas. Like, because there are always going to be initial doubts.
Yeah.
Right. Especially if there is no immediate connection being made with why you're there. There's no immediate connection made. You're always going to get this face.
Yeah.
That's always going to be a thing.
A little befuddlement.
And then after you go out there and rub your talent all in their faces.
When you walk in with, and walk out with, you did your fucking job.
The impact, people cannot underestimate the impact of a good performance. People might say initially, that's only going to last a second, though. It's only going to last a second. What you do after that is going to
that's what matters.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I don't. In hindsight, and this is the only thing I can say because I saw the article before I saw the performance, right. the total tribute.
Right.
I'm sorry. The order of things was I saw the discourse.
Yes.
I saw what the trending conversation was, and it was not. None of these women belong up here. It was. I feel like this tribute was missing something.
And then the lady wrote the article.
Right, because it was a lady. Because the one, let me see, the tweet that led me to the article was a snippet of the article that somebody posted. It was the part that said
on Twitter.
Yeah, it was the part that said. Then this person posted this with a question mark, like retweeted this with question marks. It was the part of the article that said the majority of their suggestions were men. Some of them are popular. Some of them used to be popular. Most of them had little qualifications beyond half a decent SoundCloud, single, and penis. People name dropped several artists who have faded from the fleeting public memory. They brought up their vocal capabilities and performance prowess, not because they were legitimate competition for the women dominating the stage, but because they were male and therefore more qualified. These people were not thinking about these men nor their stilted discography.
Do you have a list of these men they were talking about?
No, but So off the top of my head, I can think of 3 that probably were mentioned. And one of them is Duran Bernard. And he literally just had a Tiny Desk concert. Mm-hmm. Like within the last year.
Right.
So he's popular enough to have been on the tribute. He just had a Tiny Desk concert. Right. One of them was what's his name? Oh, hold up. What is his name? Avery Wilson. Avery Wilson was just on Tiny Desk with Babyface. And he went viral recently for doing the Tevin Campbell challenge. And he also went viral for doing the Usher challenge. He absolutely would have been fine to be a part of this goddamn performance.
I see what the common denominator is, though.
And then another person, Luke James. I don't know as much about Luke James, but this was another name that was being brought up.
Right. Well, maybe next time get to pick a desk. Listen, that seems to be a common.
You stupid. I hate you so much. Anyway, so the next person, Marsha Ambrosius.
I hate that last name. Go ahead.
I don't really know why she was there either. She does not have any songs with Usher. I will give the caveat that it's possible she may have written him songs, but I didn't go that deep with my research.
I was a performance to you because I don't know what I saw, but
she has an album. Let me hold on. She has an album out and has been doing media rounds. But the music doesn't seem to be charting. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. She's an amazing songstress. Let me get that very clear.
No. The reason why I'm not giving her credit for that is because of the article.
This nigga.
The article stressed.
No, you're right. You're right.
All of them.
It's not about talent.
It's
not about talent. That's what the article said. It's not about talent. She's an amazing songstress and amazing vocal talent.
I did not like amazing songstress. What I'm saying to you is that
I did not like her performance, and I think that a different song would have been better for her to do.
For her.
Yeah, for her specific voice.
That the writer made it a key element.
Yeah, absolutely.
Argument that
it's about heat
are setting the internet's on fire.
Right.
They're
she's on a media. I mean, she's on a media run. If you want to count that, I mean,
no, that's fine. I'm just saying, if her music didn't chart,
it don't look. I ain't seeing nothing charting.
We did also discuss that sometimes it's not about that; it's about what they're doing out there in the public sphere. But
hold up, low key, I will give this one boon to her. Mm-hmm. She's kind of a contemporary because it's not like Floetry. When did Floetry?
Yeah, okay. I knew.
When did Flourishly come out?
All right.
No, she's kind of she might be a direct contemporary. Let me double check.
That's around Usher's,
she's a direct contemporary. So I was wrong. I was wrong. However, I still didn't like her performance.
Okay, so hold on. So to be clear, if we're measuring the metric here, she's on a media run.
Yes.
And she's a contemporary.
So listen, she's on a media run, which fits her into the least important category. And wait. And she is a contemporary, which is the third most important category.
Right. But I still argue. I mean, this is your metrics. I wouldn't know. I'm not an expert with this. But I would argue that maybe, like I said, weight is weighted different now. Like I would have.
But hold up, wait. You keep saying that, but we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
We're gonna get to that because you said 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
So she did the song Superstar, which is where the viral Usher challenge came from. I feel like she didn't do the challenge right. She kind of messed that up a little bit compared to her actual skill and talent. Not saying she went out there and embarrassed herself. That's not the point of me. Yeah, no, come on now. She's never going to do that. And I feel like it sounded like she was having some issues with some of the deeper notes. I don't know if it was a range issue, and that is an argument that some people in good faith could potentially listen. That's an argument that some people could potentially in good faith make about why men should be involved, not be the only people, but should be involved when celebrating other men, because generally your vocal range is not going to go to the same depths that a man's can. Now, hold up. Coco could have done that song. Coco has a lower register.
Right.
Coco would have killed that song.
Right.
But again, maybe part of that is my bias.
It is.
But legitimately, outside of my bias, Coco really does have a lower register.
No, okay.
That she can reach.
I acknowledge that. I'm just saying that much like inflection could be different, all that other stuff, that the note is as long as it don't come out, she sound like a frog.
No, nigga, listen. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Not if you don't hit the note. You gotta hit the note. Now you can choose to do the note an octave higher. That I don't like it, but that's fine.
She hit the note.
Listen, I'm saying that she struggled a little bit with those deeper notes.
Maybe so, but I'm saying she may have struggled. Like, for instance, my daughter is short. She might reach up on the shelf, not quite get it, but just enough to hit it. When it comes down, that how she struggled with the note? No. She touched it a couple times. She wasn't able to knock it down. Like, but again, it's not every time. It's not every time. There were times when she absolutely hit the notes. It's just that she struggled with the consistency with the lower notes. Yeah, but I'm just saying that does sound petty.
Listen, I'm not trying to be petty because I like Marcia. Listen, I like Marcia.
Was it that? Was it? Damn. Is that
kinda? Well, no, it wasn't damn because she didn't quit. She didn't quit. So it wasn't damn.
She did get it. She did, but no. Because she hit it, but she still ain't get it down.
Listen, it wasn't a rage quit. She just changed her. She just kept going about her time. Right. She just right. Well, no, not even no. Actually, she didn't go to a different show because that'd have been changing the note. But she tried it. She tried it. And she was like, you know what? I got shit to do. No, I got shit to do. Let me go ahead and think what I was doing. Maybe I don't need. That's kind of what that was.
It's too early. It's too early in the evening for me.
And then some of them she definitely did hit eventually. Right. Like, yeah. Anyway, stop. Next up, Chloe. I literally know nothing about Chloe on purpose.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, it's not. I don't have an issue with her. I just don't know anything. I've never, but I see her everywhere. I'm not questioning why she was there at all. I see her everywhere. She also, on top of that, did a good job with her performance. So another instance where if I would have heard about this in advance, not the same, that's the same degree as Coco, because like I said, Chloe is everywhere. So in my head, I'd be like, oh, she's there for the hot relevant category. And nigga, she did what the fuck she was supposed to do.
Okay.
So I'm not complaining. Yeah, I'm not complaining at all about her performance. Next up, Tinashe. Bruh.
Somebody else who I didn't know what the fuck she was.
I have no earthly idea why she was there. I'm aware of who she is. I have no earthly idea why she was there. Maybe she was his second cousin, twice removed, uncle, sister's best friend's co-worker or something.
Hold up.
What?
Right here.
What?
That was petty as fuck.
No, listen. She gotta be because all right. So
petty.
She has 6 albums. The first of which came out in 2014. So she's not a new artist. Not only does she not have a platinum album at all, she's never had a gold album.
Yo, stop.
Her last album that even cracked the top 10 R&B charts was in 2018.
Stop.
She dropped an album in September that didn't chart. She has an album coming out in August. She dropped an EP last month. Her performance was okay.
So hold up.
It's not like she went out there and stuck up.
Single last month.
She dropped an EP last month.
EP last month. How it do?
I ain't seen no evidence of nothing really doing nothing. But that's me. I could have missed it. But I ain't seen no evidence of nothing doing nothing. Her performance was okay. But once again, she seemed to mess up some words.
Okay.
Also, another direct complaint about the people who put this together. She did the song Nice and Slow. There's a part in the song where Usher does this talk rap thing. Everybody knows it. They call me USHERRAYMO. That part. When that part came up, she stopped singing and started to just dance. Great job, because you got the crowd participation. You got the crowd doing that whole part. But then the fucking crowd was cut off because the music went to the next part. Let them fit. You have crowd participation. What are you doing? Let them finish it. But again, that wasn't her. That was the other people. That's not her fault. So I'm not. And again, she did a good job by not singing during that point because she got the crowd fully into it.
Right.
Like, so it's not that I'm saying she's a bad performer. It's just that I think she does have one song with him.
Oh, there you go.
Nah, dude. One song, it's not, you don't fit. I don't qualify one song as an infrequent collaborator. One song could be like you owed the label something.
Oh, you stupid. Listen.
No, I'm just saying. Listen, one song could be you owe the label something.
First of all, how dare you? What up, Cosmo? How dare you? There are plenty of artists that have done one song with me. You know what I'm saying? And if a tribute came out.
Listen to me clearly. Listen to me clearly. The difference is that I didn't even know that they had. I had to search to find that they had the one song together. If somebody that is giving you a tribute, they're probably going to be aware of that song that you're talking about.
And also, I am an infrequent collaborator, so it's not like
there
was a ton of people.
Right.
You can pick to go. And,
right.
Yeah, that's true. Sure.
So that was Tinashe's performance. Then Tiana Taylor and Victoria Monet. Another situation where I'm biased, but I also think the performance was good.
It was.
They did a reference.
I'm not the one to judge, but I did like it. I thought it was.
They did a reference to Usher and Beyonce performing this particular song, which was I think "Bad Girl." It wasn't a one-to-one with the original performance, but it shouldn't be. It's not how that works. No, like I said, it wasn't supposed to be. But I think both performances captured the essence of the person they were tributing. Tiana's vocal performance was on point, which is not surprising in any way, shape, or form. Sure. I am a little upset that it didn't seem like Victoria Monet sung at all. It was like she just danced, and she's a singer. She absolutely is a singer. Right. So I don't understand why they didn't do something where she could sing as well, but whatever.
We actually did comment on this earlier, GA. We had a little segment on this earlier, and we were petty. You already know.
I guess if pressed, I would have to put them in the category of hot/relevant. It's good. Nigga. It's good to see. It's good to see Tiana get a win, given what she's been going through with her divorce and everything. So yeah, I ain't had no problem. Like I said, the only small problem I had.
The Rock. You know what I'm saying?
The only small problem I got is the fact that Victoria Monet didn't sing, really. But whatever. The performance itself, she did what she was there to do, she did well.
Right.
So I ain't mad about it. Then the last performance, where when I read this again in this fucking article, I almost yelled Kent. Because what the fuck are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about.
That's your problem. You be almost yelling Cat. What I'm telling you is,
shut the hell up.
You need to say that shit.
No, listen, bro.
Big man.
I knew you were going to say it. I knew. Lionel came out and did Ludacris's verse from the song "Yeah." I was not a fan at all. Another situation where the lyrics were different, but this time it's like not that she didn't know the lyrics; she fucking changed the lyrics purposely.
Hold up, stop. Think about this for a second.
Yes.
You changed. We don't know that you know. We don't know that you know.
Okay, so technically, I can't say she absolutely knew them. But
we know.
But
we didn't know them. That's all I'm saying.
Here's the thing. With Donald Glover and with who was it? The other person, I can't remember who it was. It was almost clear. It was almost clear that they messed up.
Right.
It wasn't that they messed up. And honestly, to be fair, you can mess up. You can know the lyrics and still mess up. So yes, that's possible.
I've been on stage with lyrics I wrote.
Right.
Messed up.
Right.
So
yeah, you can know the lyrics and still mess up. But I feel like for a tribute show, this is not a performance where you're doing a set. This is not a performance where you're doing a set. Right. It's a performance where you're doing a part of one song.
Facts.
I feel like for a tribute show where you're doing a part of one song, you should have the fucking lyrics right.
Listen, nigga. It bees that way.
Listen. Hold up. Now, this part, I can't speak to you because I don't perform. Well, I did, but I don't perform anymore.
Right.
And whatever. The point is,
I'm just saying, them lights, you up there in them lights.
Nigga. Anyway, so I also didn't like her energy for a fucking ludicrous verse. This fucking
that matters because
the person who wrote the article is fucking capping. Talking about she had the same energy as Ludacris. No, the fuck she did not.
That matters though, bro, because specifically this specific artist, Ludacris,
nigga,
his energy,
he's a ball of energy,
is out of the atmosphere,
right,
and turned into a sun.
There are very few rappers that can fit into the category with Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott.
Facts.
Ludacris is one of them.
Facts.
We're not about to do this. If you're being disingenuous, or you've never fucking seen Ludacris perform.
No, that just even his performance in studio. Listen to the power and energy he puts behind his delivery of his bars.
Absolutely.
That shit.
Like you think you like come the fuck
Listen.
No, I am all for women, specifically black women.
Yes.
Doing their fucking thing. Parts of this performance were not an example of black women doing their fucking thing.
You said that.
Just what it is, yo. No, we not doing no. What? But to be fair though, I do kind of get why Lana was there. Mm-hmm. She is relatively big on socials. When she drops, she's capable of moving numbers.
I mean, comparatively short.
I'm just saying, when she drops, she moves the charts.
I'm just saying comparatively because when Usher, his prime, we talking.
Oh no, it ain't Usher. No, it ain't Usher.
I'm just about to say comparatively because nowadays the way they calculating moving motherfuckers over there doing cartwheels over 200,000 a week, and I'm like, nigga.
But she has certifications.
Yes,
as far as singles and albums.
True.
I just didn't like the performance.
Yeah,
I just didn't like the performance. Now, hopefully that helped a little as far as understanding that this issue is not solely about the lack of penises on stage.
No, I think you effectively made an argument for why that wasn't it. But again,
especially since the one that was there didn't fucking belong.
Facts. But I think that's why I made the caveat. I am sure that I don't know enough about the genre.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure there were. I just know because I be seeing you niggas.
Oh, thanks.
I know because I saw the whole threads on X. Motherfuckers coming in there saying some of the goofiest shit about these women performing.
Of course.
And then some of these same niggas turn right back around after doing their He-Man Woman Haters Club shit, turn right back around and jumped in and start fucking with Usher about his speech. So I'm like, some of y'all are not good. Y'all not the people you need to be listening to about
facts. All facts. No, some of you need to be dragged to the gulag.
And I think it's entirely possible that the writer of this article has a bone to pick with that crowd.
Facts.
And maybe she squeezed the trigger on the wrong people.
I'm not giving her room for that.
No,
I believe it's factual.
Let me hear my whole thing because it's not really actually helping her. It's not. She pulled the trigger on that because remember how we talked about people who had conversations, interject conversation into shit that nobody was talking about, but they're trying to find the end.
Yeah,
I think that might be what she did with that article. She's been wanting to excoriate these type of dudes for a long time, and I would be curious to see some of her other writings.
Right.
To see if that's a similar thing going on over there. So
I did a cursory search.
Do her job. She didn't do her job.
Yeah, I did a cursory search. I would not say that what I saw is to this level. Okay. Now she is always on the empowering women thing.
Well, she should be.
Yes. I can't say again. I didn't do a deep dive of her work.
Right.
But of what I saw, I ain't really never see this. Level. Yeah. Right. No, this was a special case in my.
It just sounded like she had a discussion she wanted to make. The article was less about.
It was the article was the wallpaper.
Yeah, it was more about I'm about to get in these niggas' ass.
Yeah,
that's what it seemed like.
So, like I said, the argument is not solely about the lack of penises on stage, but also
she didn't do it.
But also the lack of penises on stage is noticeable. It's a noticeable part of the issue. Listen. This is why
I never even noticed.
Listen, I get it. I understand.
My mind don't be on.
Listen. Again, this is more about who didn't perform rather than who did.
Right.
In the article, she mentions that names people suggested were people who were not famous anymore. A tribute's main goal is supposed to be about celebrating the artist.
Sure.
Having people with no connection that just so happen to be buzzing currently is fine, but that should never overtake the main goal. We're talking about tribute. This is not the entirety of the BET Awards.
Right.
This is 20 minutes.
Right.
So the issue that basically boils down to precedent.
I think that's probably your most top tier argument with this is the fact that you only got 20 minutes.
It's 20 fucking minutes, bro.
Yeah,
you could have extended it to 30, maybe 25. Because 25 would have probably got you two more songs.
Yeah.
Because we doing medley style.
Exactly.
So yeah, 20. You could have extended to 25. If you don't listen, if the performances that happened that I did not like were better, they didn't even have to be perfect. If they were just better, and you extended it to 25 and had two impactful people that had a deep connection with Usher,
Right.
I wouldn't have had this would have been a completely different conversation.
Right.
This would have been a completely different conversation. So, like I said, the issue basically boils down to precedent. My list of categories that I feel should be involved in tributes is partially based on precedent, because this is what tributes tend to be.
Right. There's an expectation, in other words. There's an expectation. Right.
Her points don't fit into that. Anyone, please give me 4 tributes, big mainstream tributes, where artists are celebrating another artist and the percentage of them who are the same gender is as low as 10%. It does not happen. It doesn't happen. Give me 4 tributes where there are 0 of the celebrated artists contemporaries. Technically, Marsha kind of fits into there, but it was slightly different. So even still, only one contemporary where there's a group of artists celebrating them. Give me 4 big mainstream tribute shows where that was the case. It's not really a thing. Give me 4 tributes where there are 0 of the celebrated artists, mentors, mentees, or frequent collaborators.
I feel like what they would say, I'm not saying it, but I feel like they would say is the appeal to tradition. They wasn't rocking with it this time.
Good job. Let's get into that.
It wasn't rocking with it.
Since we're talking about precedent, let's look at some of the other tributes that happened, specifically BET Awards, same award, Lifetime Achievement, recent years. Mm-hmm. So this ain't early 2000s.
You do realize, though, that when you talk about tradition goes all the way up from when it started to when it ended.
Absolutely. Let's cut off everything before 2019. Let's cut all that shit off. All right. For brevity's sake, I'm not going to mention the artists who don't fit into any of the categories, because them being on there honestly could have been just being in the last category, the hot/relevant, or it could be some other thing that for why they're there. Yeah. So we're not even going to mention
them. Out on a ski trip, they could
be. We have no idea. Right. So we're not even going to name them, because my argument was never they shouldn't be involved.
Right.
That's not the argument. So, and we're not even going to mention any of the artists that just fit into the hot/relevant or up and coming category. We're just going to mention artists that fit into the other categories that I came up with. Right. 2023, Busta Rhymes Lifetime Achievement. MOP. Contemporaries. Frequent collaborators. Busta Rhymes has like 6 or 7 songs with MOP.
Yeah.
Coi Leray is Busta Rhymes' goddaughter. Mm-hmm. And he had recently put music out with her. Rah Digga, the first lady of Busta Rhymes' record label, Flip Mode. Not in no official group, so she fits also into the frequent collaborator category.
Side note, side mission. I love how when Tyler, the Creator, ran this fucking pie hole about Rah Digga, Busta didn't even feel the need to get involved.
No, he had to.
He said, why? He fucked.
Yeah.
She's about to eat his ass. Right? I love that Busta was like, I don't gotta run to her. Trust me, I don't have to run to her defense. Yeah. Trust me. Trust me.
Swiss Beats. Frequent collaborator. They have somewhere around 10 songs together that Swiss is listed as a performer.
Facts.
Not to mention songs that Swiss just produced.
Facts.
I didn't even feel like looking up how many songs Swiss produced. So that's 2023. 2022. BET Awards Lifetime Achievement, Diddy. Now, I went back and forth whether to include this, but I chose to include it because we're not celebrating this motherfucker. And also, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, this is the speech that led to his downfall. This is the one where he looked in the camera and said, "Thank you, Cassie. You was with me through these dark times," and blah. I think so. We're celebrating that shit. This is what led to this motherfucking downfall.
Dark times.
Yeah. Right. So, Jodeci, Faith, Mary J. Blige. Diddy was instrumental in getting all their careers to it. So, mentees of Diddy. Shine. The only thing most people know Shine for is being connected to Diddy, whether we talk about the good stuff or the bad stuff.
I was about to say.
The Locks. The Locks. There's a storied history between these two parties that is too long for this episode. But if you don't know,
on alligators.
But if you don't know, Google it.
Yeah.
There were refrigerators.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shit. Okay, that's 2022. 2021. Queen Latifah, Lifetime Achievement, Moni Love and MC Light. Contemporaries.
Nobody should have to say, yo, what? Come on, nobody should, especially when you put Moni Love.
Contemporaries, and the only reason Moni Love doesn't fit into the frequent collaborators is because I arbitrarily put a cap on 5, and they had 4 songs together.
Yeah.
So,
but she has one of Latifah's biggest, like one
yes,
breakout songs. Moni Love is on it.
Absolutely.
The lady's first shit.
If
just side mission. If you wasn't, I feel for anybody that wasn't there when Ladies first came out and that video dropped. The feeling, one, I'm pretty sure of women in that space was like, oh shit. But just for us guys, we was like, now I know you think you rap. I know you guys think you rap, but
yeah, facts. Now, one category I did not put on here is like spiritual successors. I'm gonna talk about that more in the next part, but specifically for the Queen one, Rhapsody was there.
Oh, damn.
I mean,
damn.
If you know that she belonged.
Yeah. No, you know.
All right. Okay. In 2020, they didn't do the award. And in 2019, Mary J. Blige did her own set. Like, she did the whole, like, she performed her hits.
Right.
And she had people who were on the original songs.
Let me ask you about that. Arguably a tribute. How do you feel about the artists going up there doing their greatest hits as opposed to other people coming up there?
So I feel like an artist doing their own songs is not a tribute.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Now, I do feel like because the official title of what this is a Lifetime Achievement Award, that it's acceptable for her to do her own songs. But it is not a tribute, in my opinion.
Yeah. So by extension of that, wasn't the Lifetime Achievement also for Usher, but they were still calling it a tribute?
No. See, here's the thing. Most of them has been tributes. Murray is the exception. The rest of those that I just mentioned, I don't know. The rest of those that I just mentioned were Lifetime Achievement.
Did nobody not want to go there and do her songs? There's
no way. You can't tell me. Listen, it could have been that she just wanted to do.
She wanted to perform.
It's possible. Because you can't tell me that there's nobody that can do Mary J. songs. Like,
did she have anything coming out at the time?
I don't remember. I didn't do much research on that one because she didn't have nobody up there. The only people she had was Meth, because she did You're All I Need. And she had Kim because she did I Can Love You.
Right.
So, but outside of that, it was just her doing her solo songs. So, like I said, I don't consider that a tribute.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. You can participate. I don't think you have to not sing at all.
Yeah.
But there should be people paying you tribute.
In fact, the way I would do it would be you put the people paying you, you front load the people paying you the tributes performances, and then you end it with the person coming in collaborating with them.
Yep.
That's how I was
That's exactly what I was going. That's exactly what I was thinking of. All right, so this next part. Chrissy, I was talking to Chrissy about this after I first read the article, and she asked me what I think is a very important question. Who would I have had do the tribute? Who that did not show up would I have included?
Oh, clearly Kenny Rogers.
It's easy. Shut up. It's easy to bitch and complain about something.
What would you have done better?
Right, but in a situation like this, what are you complaining about without proper alternatives?
To be clear,
and again,
I still feel like you can have a complaint.
Oh yes, just in a situation like this, in a situation where
an artist,
yes,
that's why.
Right,
to me, question is
in a situation where I am such a fan of what is going on top of being a fan of Usher, and on top of being a fan of formula and structure and precedent, not necessarily tradition. Tradition can be bucked. Yeah. Tradition can be bucked, but precedent is important.
Right.
Precedent is important. You create a new precedent by bucking something, and that's fine. Right. But it still is a precedent once you establish it. But anyway, so now I'm not going to name a person to replace, because again, that was not my point.
Right.
I'm not trying to replace any of these people.
Right.
But what I did was name people. What I did was name people who fit into the categories that I came up with.
Right.
I'm not saying that all or even any individual of these people should have been there.
Right.
I'm just giving the options of who fits the categories.
Right.
I'm also not doing I'm not going to touch the hot/relevant now category. I'm not even going to involve that. So from category, because it just doesn't even I feel like they fulfilled that.
Oh yeah, sure.
They fulfilled that category. They did that part. So I'm going to go from the least important category to the most important category for me. So least important category, similar impact or shared cultural moments. Because again, I'm skipping the hot/relevant one. Chris Brown. Listen, I know he's on the list. I don't care what y'all say, because we're not talking about if they actually do the performance or not.
Right.
If personally, I don't care to see him perform because of things. But if we're being honest with what we're talking about, because there's another name on here that some people will be really mad about, but you cannot tell the story of Usher without this. Anyway, we gonna get there. But yeah, Chris Brown, lock for this category, similar impact with shared cultural moments. Generally, anybody that comes from that Michael Jackson school kind of can fit into this category for Usher. Sure. It's just what it is. Next category, this is going to come from left field because of what it is. It's the infrequent collaborators category. Rick Ross. Rick Ross has 4 fucking songs with Usher. And the reason that's so crazy is because kind of like Tim, Usher doesn't really do many collaborations. So for the fact that Rick fucking Ross has 4 songs with, what?
Yeah.
What are we talking? How? Anyway.
That's his minutes.
Listen, I hear you. So, contemporaries. This is not an exhaustive list. There are probably people who I forgot.
Oh, I'm certain they are.
Darnell Jones, Case, Tank, Genuine. These are all R&B acts who came out mid-90s to early 2000s, like Usher, had successful careers, like Usher, put out albums in 3 different decades. Also, Tyrese fits those criteria. He was in the fucking crowd. So it appears that he was available.
What more do you want from him, though, y'all?
To be on the fucking stage. That's what the fuck more I wanted from him. Tyrese was also in the music video for the song My Way off of Usher's breakout album. So, yeah. And all of these guys have some type of gold or platinum certificates to their names. 3 of them are literally in a fucking group named TGT, Tyrese, Genuine, and Tank, and are performing at the fucking Essence Festival today. So it's not like they're not relevant. They're performing at the fucking Essence Festival.
Maybe they needed that time to prepare.
Listen, it's possible that they couldn't do it. Because that's the caveat I want to put out there.
Right.
It's possible that BET put out feelers to these people and they just couldn't do it. Again, I don't think Tyrese fits that category. He was in the fucking crowd. But whatever, we gonna leave Black Tie alone. We gonna leave Black Tie alone. All right, next category: frequent collaborators. Pharrell Williams.
Oh, okay.
Pharrell has produced at least 10 Usher songs. The biggest being You Don't Have to Call, where he actually gets a fucking shout out in the beginning of the song. Don't bring your girl around me, true player for real. Ask my nigga for real. Now, the line, some people think that he's saying for real. The thing is, though, Usher is from Atlanta. Usher has an accent. You might not know this because when Usher came out, it was beaten to artists' heads that they had to speak a certain way. And that it was a similar issue that happened with Beyonce, where it was people shitting on her because she never really had that early in her career. She still had her thick ass accent. So it was some issues with that, some people talking shit about. Anyway, but also the thing is, it's kind of a double entendre because For Real is a nickname that some people call Pharrell because it's so closely whatever. Another person that is in the frequent collaborators category is fucking Ludacris. He has at least 6 songs with Usher. A little bit more with him later. Now, for the most important category, legacy connection. I'm going to get the fucking wart on the finger out of the way first. Sean Combs. Obviously, he was not going to perform. Obviously, he was not going to perform and be out there. Or
his
even
biggest performance is coming up.
Right.
At this one.
But his role in Usher becoming what he became cannot be denied. Yeah. Usher's first album, shut up. Usher's first album, Diddy did that. Also,
did he?
Shut up. Also, the song I was just talking about, You Don't Have to Call, he's in the beginning of the fucking video. Diddy is in the beginning of the video. He has a talking role.
Trust
anyway.
Me, nobody's talking.
No. We thought Diddy has been thrown out with the bathwater.
No, but he was thrown back in with Usher's speech. I saw you niggas.
I know. Listen, I'm listening. I'm not gonna touch that. I'm gonna leave that alone. Next person. The next person. Babyface. Babyface wrote and produced for Usher relatively frequently, and Usher was on Babyface's fucking label.
Yeah, sure.
That's okay. Sure. The next person. Jermaine Dupri. To say that Jermaine Dupri was involved in Usher's career may be the understatement of 2024. Jermaine Dupri was the lead producer on Usher's second, third, and fourth albums. He also has.
I did not know this.
Facts. Absolutely.
I did not know that.
Absolutely.
I did not know that.
Jermaine Dupri was involved. Not involved. He was the lead producer on Usher's second, third, and fourth albums.
Well, Jermaine it was a video.
It's not the same. No, it's not the same. It's not the same thing. Jermaine Dupri has at least one credit on every Usher album, except like 2 albums. That fourth album was the Confessions album,
right?
And word is that the story behind the writing of the album was Jermaine Dupri's life story. On top of that, Confessions is Usher's diamond. Confessions is Usher's diamond certified album.
Wait. You said that Jermaine's life story?
Yes. I mean, not life story, but the stories that filled the album are his stories. That's what has been alleged by parties involved. Next, Lil Jon. Now, I mentioned Ludacris already, but the song "Yeah" went diamond plus.
It did. It was a big song.
Anyone involved with that song deserves to be a part of the tribute.
And to be clear,
especially since they played the song.
I think was it Lil Jon? I could have sworn I heard something about a recent either upcoming performance or something with Lil Jon.
No, the Super Bowl show. The Super Bowl halftime show. Lil Jon was there. Yes, absolutely. Why? Because he has something to do with Usher's career. Anyway, now this one, a lot of people not gonna like. I don't even like it, but it's just facts.
You already said a couple things people didn't like. They ain't like
right. Fuck no. Justin Bieber. Love him or hate him, he was introduced to the world by Usher.
Okay, so here's the thing about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can certainly understand going yuck with Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
But hating Justin Bieber, other than that little
video, right.
bullshit he was saying,
yeah,
it seems a bit much.
Like, I agree, but I know what the reaction is.
Yeah,
when you bring him up in front of certain people, so I just had to get that caveat. But he is one of Usher's mentees, direct mentees, not. But then, speaking of people who he's helped along the way in one way or another, here's a list of people who are on record of having Usher as an influence in their careers. Trey Songz, Jason Derulo, Miguel, Omarion, Ray J, Bryson Tiller, Black, Anderson .Paak, Sammy, Bruno Mars, Neo. Any of those people, there are a couple of people on there who absolutely have fallen off. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. One or two. You don't hear shit about them. That's not the case for most of them. Trey Songz, Bryson Tiller, Black, Anderson .Paak, Bruno Mars. But these are still people who are
your earlier point, though, about it's only 20 minutes.
No, that's what I'm saying. Not all
of these niggas.
Listen,
you put up there.
This group, the most relevant person.
Who would you have prioritized and still had New Blood up there?
Of this group or of everybody I just mentioned?
Of everybody you just mentioned.
Of everybody I just mentioned, you do not do this tribute without Jermaine Dupri on stage, touching the stage at some point. Mm-hmm. That is crazy to me. I understand if he couldn't be there. Again, the caveat for all of these, it could have been he couldn't be there. The caveat for all of these is if they couldn't be there. Absolutely, 100%.
Or didn't want to.
I mean, listen, we don't know what be going on behind the scenes sometimes. Niggas be beefing sometimes. It's a real thing.
Not even a beef, nigga. I'm chilling.
That's absolutely. Like, but I argue. With a relationship so close, and I'm not talking about personal relationship, with a relationship so closely tied together, there is no nigga I'm chilling. Like Dre came out for Kendrick.
Yeah.
With being so instrumental in someone's career, there is no nigga I'm chilling unless you're beefing. In my opinion.
It's the whole relationship.
The niggas, shut up. So you don't do a performance with facts, sis. Facts. That whole thing with Bieber, that happened. Like it was targeted. It was a goal for that to happen. And it happened. Like in the confines of a tribute, you can't really ignore that. Like you cannot have him there, sure, absolutely. Right. He doesn't have to be there. But again, like I don't think you do a proper big mainstream Usher tribute without Jermaine Dupri. Again, like I said, if they didn't want to be there or they couldn't be there, that's one thing.
Right.
But Jermaine Dupri, absolutely. I would say Ludacris. Again, that song went 13 times platinum.
Yeah.
Which is diamond +3.
Yeah. Yeah.
That that's come on. And for a third person, because I'm only going to do 3, because like I said, if you extend that from 20 minutes to 25 or 26, you can fit in these 3 people.
Right.
And like I said, they did the song that Ludacris would have been there, so you're not extending it for that.
Right.
I said I wasn't replacing nobody. If there's 2 people I would have replaced, it's Childish Gambino and Lotto. So Lotto can get the fuck out of here and Ludacris can do the actual verse. I'm sorry. It is what it is. So those 2, and if I had to pick a third person that I actually would have wanted to see perform, it would have been either Tyrese or Tank.
Okay.
Tyrese or Tank, because Tank has, I probably lean towards Tank, because Tank can do the performing and singing at the same time thing.
You saying,
and that's very important when you're tributing Usher.
You saying?
No, I've never seen. I'm saying I've never seen him do it.
You trying to?
That is one of the reasons why it was so important for Tiana Taylor to be on there, because she absolutely can do that.
What you trying to say about?
No, I ain't never seen Tyrese. Listen, I ain't never seen it. I could be wrong, but I ain't never.
Tyrese, first of all, what we're going to do is put respect.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. This is not
save the world from transforming robots to Kane. Y'all going to respect.
All right.
Twice.
Facts, sis. Like, and that's the other thing about Tank specifically. We are talking about
this is a wild bar in a lot of bad ways, but I'm gonna let that shit.
No, listen, no, yo, you say it's a wild bar. Actually, the meaning of this is kind of, yes, it is. I'm not going to go into full detail, but if you're talking about, all right, so we're not going to
no, the capitalization of adult is wild.
Yes, I get it. But if we're not going to act like one of the biggest appeals. It feeds into what you said about Usher probably has more female fans than male fans.
Yeah.
Is that one of the biggest appeals outside of yes, he can dance, outside of yes, he can sing.
Right.
He's a sex symbol. 1,000%. Like, we're not going to act like we don't know that that's the case.
We know that. Like, that's why I said.
But and Tank fits that role perfectly. Tank is there's not, the problem is,
what's the problem?
Actually, it wouldn't have been a problem. It wouldn't have been a problem because it's a tribute show. But some of Tank's songs, he probably could not sing at the BET Awards because he be
this shit
relatively explicit.
This shit Gary here, basically what Gary is basically saying is he has opened up another piece of content that we can literally do.
Yo, you know what? That's funny. Listen, and here's the thing. If we're talking about the entire show, I agree 100%. But I would argue that they have done a relatively decent job with the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Oh, that segment of the show. Okay.
Segment.
Right.
Other parts of it, hey, listen.
What I'm saying is next year, niggas.
Nigga, we'll see. We'll see because that depends on so many things. Depends on who the fuck they choose to honor. Right. Because the problem with a certain segment of people doing this when in the time period that it happens is because it becomes harder because of how music has changed and how technology has changed.
Yep.
It becomes harder to come up with people to do the Lifetime Achievement shit with that a consensus will agree with.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. It's hard. We diss them when they fuck up, but show running is hard. It's
difficult.
And it ain't getting better. It ain't getting easier as time goes on.
I wonder if I can find out who put this show together.
Ogma said, "Pop star beef up next after the Drake shit. Justin Bieber versus Chris Brown." Hey, yo.
Jesse Collins. That name sounds familiar.
It does. It does.
Let me see. Who you be, sir?
What you been doing?
Jesse Collins.
Yeah. There's no need to do a Lifetime Achievement every year. Like, spread that shit up.
That's facts. That's absolutely facts. And that will help the problem that I just stated.
It sure would.
Oh, apparently he just fucked up this time. Because there's a YouTube Sway's Universe saying Jesse Collins, the genius behind hip hop's biggest shows. Maybe it's because it wasn't hip hop. Because again, I didn't watch the rest of the show, so I can't even speak on what the rest of the show.
That's interesting. So if this is his one fuck up, just don't happen again, and go about your business.
Let me see. Jesse Collins, Canadian actor and director.
Why does that name sound familiar though?
That's known for starring in the television series Cat and Dog. Don't know that. Nominated for a Daytime Emmy for his direction of the PBS series Zobu Mafu. He voiced Sandy Beach in the TV series Rescue Heroes, Cyber Chase, Stormhawks, World of Quest, Babar and the Adventures of Babu.
Let me tell y'all,
the Bernstein Bears.
The first comic book I ever read was Babar.
Bruh.
Why the first comic I ever read?
I don't know if this is the same person because there's no picture.
It can't be. Why would he be involved with Baybar?
Nigga.
Shit.
I mean, if he's a director and showrunner kind of.
Yeah, kind of.
But I'm not saying anything about music, so this could possibly not be the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. There's a different one. Oh no, this is about a woman. Okay, so that's not the right person.
Same one. Mm-hmm.
Simply known as just American visual artist. No, I can't find a bit.
Baybar.
Yo. Wait. Oh my God. Hold on. Let me see. It's Babar.
Is it?
That's what
Baybar. That's Baybar.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, but I was like 8 or 9. So, you know.
All right, so it's actually saying some people do either. Some do people say. Wait, no, not what you said. No, you're wrong. You're objectively wrong. No, it's saying that some people do Babar and some people do Babar.
That's Baybar.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever. Yeah,
you never read. You know what? It might be way ahead of your time. When you was a kid, you probably wasn't. But they had cartoons.
I'm aware of the elephant.
Right.
I'm aware of it.
The elephant in the room.
That's funny. Anyway. So yeah. Again, my overall point, and the main argument that I was saying in the trending section, not just people on my For You page, was there are people missing.
Yes.
Not that the people that were there were incapable of doing a good job.
So are you saying that basically the writer either saw some folks and decided to make all the criticism that she was going about those people? The only way you had a criticism in her mind, the only way you had a criticism of that was if you was these. Well,
let me go to some of the article. Let me reread some of the. Now, after we've had this conversation, let me go through some of these pieces of the article. That's funny. That is hilarious. All right, so I already pointed out the issue with this initial paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
BET feted the creative legacy of Usher Raymond forth with a tribute that included performances from Victoria Monet, Coco Jones, Chloe Bailey, Summer Walker, Tinashe, Tiana Taylor, Marsha Ambrosius, and more. Let's see how many more people there are. Let me pull this over here.
This is petty too, by the way, just so you know.
No, I just because you asked the question, I want to make sure I properly answer.
I'm just saying this is petty, just so you know.
Okay. She left off 2 people.
So it's technically more, but
yeah,
you could give the impression when you say more, there's like scores more came up there. And
I mean, no, I'll give it that. I'll give it that for the end more. However, if the key premise that you are trying to make is that people are mad at BET or whoever that there are only women on stage, and your title is Black Women Gave Usher the BET Lifetime Achievement Tribute He Deserved, and you can stay mad about it. And in your introductory paragraph, you leave out the fact that a man started the tribute.
Right.
And when you talk about that man, you say Childish Gambino kicked things off by introducing Keke Palmer and say nothing about his performance. That seems a little disingenuous to me.
That was a purposeful kick in the nuts.
Right. That seems a little disingenuous to me.
Yeah, it's purposeful.
Right.
Kick in the nuts.
So that's one, right? And then blah blah blah. The medley of hits touched on every moment where Usher mesmerized us. No, the fuck it didn't, because that's not what tributes do. You can't do that in 20 minutes for somebody whose career spanned 4 decades. That's not how that really works. Actually, hold on. Let me make sure I'm right. 9, 0, 10, 2. Yeah, 4 decades. So how do you...
2 minutes of tribute?
Right. No, nigga, not even. Not even 2 minutes. So there's that. Because I like debate, right? And because I hang around with this asshole.
Who are you talking about? Leave Chrissy out of this.
No, nigga. Because of these things, I pick up on certain things that people try to do.
Try to get over it.
It's clear. It is obvious that she's slanted and she is trying to point the reader to a very specific point. When you say the medley touched on every moment where Usher mesmerized us, no, the fuck it didn't. And you know it didn't. And there's no way it could have. And that's not a fault of the people putting together the show. It's just an impossible feat.
Right.
It's nothing that is impossible. Right. But you stating that it did is you trying to steel man that the performance was amazing.
Right.
But it wasn't amazing.
It
dived into
shit, yo. Like they be trying to get away with saying the vagaries, and then when you dive into the details, it's like that's not what you know.
That's not what happened, right?
Yeah,
it dived into the My Way area and swam into 8701, eventually plunging into the depths of the Technicolored crunk years that found them making.
When I read that, I didn't give her no credit because. Just like in battle rap, what this is an attempt to do, it's a scheme. You try to scheme, dive, plunge, then what the? Nah, I'm not giving no. No.
So shit, hold up. God damn it! Why didn't
it? Bro, did she? Yo, she was. Listen, what I'm telling you is, I don't know. If it was to gain attention to the article itself by people being rage baiting, but trust me when I tell you, she was going in on a specific segment of current mandem online, specific, and she was trying to rope all criticisms, about this in with these people.
Yeah,
that's what she was doing.
Okay. Social media cried foul at the range. Range is the word you use? In what way is this a range? I don't. Okay, range of talents who came together to celebrate the genre's heavyweight. They questioned the lineup and argued that other names would have been better suited to celebrate the man who gifted us Bad Girl and Caught Up. Okay. The majority of their suggestions were men. Now, again, just happenstance, right? If you ask anybody about an artist of almost any genre, and you ask for a comparison, a comp to a specific artist, can anybody in good faith tell me that 9 times out of 10 they are going to go for someone of a different gender? Anybody in good faith? Because I know I've never seen this happen in public or in any of my personal conversations, and I've never done it. Like, not never, but 9 times out of 10, you're picking someone of the same gender, mainly, partially because of the patriarchy, because we're not going to act like that doesn't play a role. Plays a role in everything here. but also partially because, as I mentioned before, vocal ranges. Vocal ranges matter when you're talking about singing. Less so when you're talking about rapping, but there are some rappers who it does matter. Like you're not, if you ask for a comp for DMX, a lot of people are going to say Ja Rule just because of the vocals. So that's a thing. You're going to, exactly, GA, you're going to skew towards the same gender because, like I said, partially patriarchy, partially vocal range, partially subject matter, right? Because generally, when we're talking about R&B, men are going to be singing about loving women. Women are going to be singing about loving men. When you talk about fan bases, we're talking about whether a person is a sex symbol or not. When you talk about all of these aspects that have to do with this genre of R&B.
There's another one too. So take me for instance, right?
Mm-hmm.
In my entire career, I've only collaborated with 2 women rappers.
Mm-hmm.
So they was to do a tribute where they wanted to include people, right, that had some sort of, like, even taking your metric, something to do with my shit.
Right.
And then you was to go to watch it, and it was all women up there. You're like, hold up. He only collaborated with 2 women.
Right. That's the thing too.
Why is all of these?
That's the thing too. And this is what I'm saying. Like, the problem is, this is a problem that exists, but you're attributing a symptom that isn't a direct correlation to it.
Well, no, this is Get Back.
Yes.
And I recognize Get Back. As soon as I heard all the other parameters to it, like stuff that you was talking about, this was Get Back. This was like, she saw something or comments online that pissed her the fuck off. And now she has made it so that every single critique about that show was from people who be like simping for Samuels.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I feel like as a I don't know if you consider yourself a journalist. I'll say reporter. As a reporter, you didn't do your job, I feel. Because if you looked at the overall conversation, it was not what you're trying to peddle. And if you did see that, you're an even worse reporter because you saw evidence of the opposite and you still went with this take.
What's the difference between a reporter and a journalist, though? I think they're probably the
I
same
would say
the
only reason I make the distinction is because I don't want to give reporters the burden. I hate that word. I don't want to make it. I respect the craft of journalism to the point where journalistic integrity is just, when you say journalists,
reporters need to have that too, though.
I think reporters should have that, but it's clear that a lot don't.
No, it's clear a lot of journalists don't.
But that's the thing. All right, so put it like this: if you are considered a chef, right? I feel like that is an appeal to all things related to culinary arts. Yeah. Right? Right. But I feel like a baker is a specific type of chef. That's kind of how I feel like.
Category, subcategories.
That's kind of how I feel like with journalists and reporters, because you don't necessarily, like, I feel like a reporter's duty is to report the facts, right? I feel like journalists have more. I personally, and this could be a misunderstanding on my part. I personally feel like journalists have more of a duty to discover the facts than I do reporters do. I feel like reporters have a duty to report the facts as they are found. I feel like journalists have a duty to do more of the work to find the facts. So I say, if she happened to stumble across these facts and still ignored them, That's bad journalism, yes, but that's also being a bad reporter.
I think
because
the better way to say that, the reporter's supposed to report the facts. A journalist contextualizes the facts.
That works.
You know,
that works. And she's clearly not putting this in the right context. Because I want you to be clear. It's not that this isn't happening.
Oh no, it's happening.
Yeah, that's not the argument. Yeah, that's not the argument I'm making. There is no, I will say it again. I said it a couple times earlier. There is no scenario under which this is not happening.
The problem is you lump all criticism of this to them niggas.
Right.
Like, nobody, first of all, you gotta call spade spade. Man, ain't nobody making a show for you musty motherfuckers. Nobody is. Y'all interject. These motherfuckers are interjecting their ill feelings toward females into conversations that nobody was talking to them. That's all that is. So you can't. These outsiders usurping the conversation. Right. This is not. They are not the conversation.
Right.
You know.
And another thing that she did in this article is she never made an appeal to changing tradition. Not once. She made definitive statements like award shows are not just about award shows are not just about talent. They are also about heat.
Right.
Okay, sure. But this is 20 minutes out of a how many hour award show. This is a specific part of an award show that BET has been doing for years called a tribute.
Right.
Tributes have precedent, and the precedent doesn't fit what you're saying. It is, yes, there are absolutely going to be hot/relevant people there, but either they are few or they are connected still in a different way to the artist.
Right.
And that is the thing. The argument that, oh, well, women can't celebrate. Yes, of course they can. Nobody is making that argument.
Well,
I don't even think the motherfuckers. No, I don't even think the people in bad faith are arguing that women can't. I think they're saying I don't want to see women on my screen.
So they can't. Don't do
that. No, that's not the same thing.
Don't do the
same thing.
In other words,
don't. Yes, don't.
They'll say it's possible for you to go have.
I just don't want to admit.
I don't want that. This is the same thing with this shit. Like, yeah, it's possible to go do it, but don't. You know
right. Don't. So it's like, bruh, like you're making arguments that are outside of the main conversation about this.
I think that's the biggest sin of the article is she has lumped in all criticisms as if that's all she did. At any point in that article did she mention the other overwhelming critiques that have zero to do with what these man babies are online saying. Like
this statement,
and that's the overwhelming amount of people criticism. But to be clear, yes, I saw these niggas.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
100%, they exist. They are real.
But she made it. She did, like, if you're going to do a comprehensive thing about the critique of it, and even make a defense of how they did what they did, you need to mention
a bunch more.
Yeah, a bunch more.
There's way more context that's missing.
Yeah.
So these last thing I'll say about this article, these two paragraphs being back to back is wild when you look at it with any scrutiny, right?
Right.
First paragraph: people name drop several artists who have faded. Oh, I'm sorry, no. There's a paragraph in between the two paragraphs I'm talking about. The majority of their suggestions were men. Some of them are popular. Some of them used to be popular. Most of them had little qualifications beyond half a decent SoundCloud single and a penis, right? A paragraph, two paragraphs later, some went as far as to outright ask where the male performers were, as if valid tribute could not be performed without them. So, in the first paragraph, you're saying that people are mentioning men as to say, where were these people, right? Then you specify that some people went as far as to outright ask where the male performers were.
That in itself shows you that the number.
And then you say, as if a valid tribute could not. So these people that you're referencing specifically aren't saying a valid tribute cannot be performed without men.
Right.
They are asking, where are the men?
Right.
And again, some of those people absolutely still fit into that category that we just talked about.
I
Absolutely.
think when she said,
Without question.
Some are the moment she said in that first paragraph, some are popular.
Right.
You kind of fucked your point up.
Right.
Because
what do you mean?
If these people,
your argument was it's about heat.
So if they're popular, why
couldn't they be involved? See, and that's the whole thing seems disingenuous to me. It seems like another example of the thing that I was talking about the very, very, very few instances in our modern society where people are actually too sensitive about something.
Right.
And it's simply because you're taking an argument and here's the thing. Am I mad at the article? Yes. Am I mad at the writer? No. No. I think you're doing it for a noble reason.
Maybe. I just what I do think though. I really do believe that. So I don't know how noble it is. I do know, like with my art, stuff I talk about is the shit that's waiting on me, right? And I'm getting it out. Journalism is somewhat of an art.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what she's trying to do there. I think this again, like I said earlier, there are motherfuckers who want to inject certain conversations into a conversation because it's been weighing on her mind. For all we know, she's been looking at and this is something you never should do, by the way.
Yeah.
I always tell my folks, don't wade into those threads with these racist motherfuckers.
Sure.
Because it's going to take you down a rabbit hole that's going to have you looking at, you're going to be agitated.
Yeah.
And it's going to have you looking at other motherfuckers that didn't have nothing to do with that way, right? Same with this. She could have went down a rabbit hole with these knuckleheads, these fucking chuckleheads. Went down there and got irritated. I'm going to write this shit because I know I typically write more when I'm angry. Right? So that's what it seemed like to me because the only focus on them when they're not even the largest percentage of the reasons people were saying this, sounds like to me you saw it, you waded in, you start going through comment at the comment in these threads and sub-threads and this, that, and the third, he was like, I'm going to make them pay.
Yeah.
The best way I know how. And that's with me writing this shit. Because I get it, but it is a disservice. Like, in other words, we can have the conversation.
Yeah.
Let's have the conversation. Not really having a conversation when you're leaving out the bulk of the reason.
Yeah.
You're not.
The biggest issue I have is you being disingenuous.
Yeah.
Like, because performance is personal taste, right?
Facts.
It's possible that
Objective.
It's possible that you have nothing. It's going to sound terrible. There's no better way I can say this. Because we're shitting on the article, so it's going to sound terrible when I say it. Yeah, listen. It's possible that you are not musically inclined, right?
Yeah. And
you are just a fan of music.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
So it's possible that some of the things that I heard.
Look, I watched it, and because I'm not as initiated into that as you, I ain't see nothing wrong with the shit till you start pointing the shit out. So, right. But then you writing about this though.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Imagine me writing about
right. Because like inside baseball moment, I saw this. I saw I saw that clip of Coco that Chrissy sent me. Then I saw the discussion on where were the male performers. Then I saw that snippet of this article, which led me to find the article. I read the article, talked about it with Chrissy for a second, and found to gauge that I wasn't completely off.
Right.
Like her not it whether she agreed with me 100% or not is not important. That was me sounding board against a black woman to see like, am I wilding? Like, am I wilding?
Right.
I got that. I got past that check mark. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me see if I can find enough information to make the point that I think I have in my head. Information verified. It backed up the point that I was trying to make. Then after all that, I sent to him the video of the tribute.
Right.
I sent to him the article.
Right.
So, like, going into this, like I say, if you're new here, you may not understand that I know Tim. Like,
oh yeah,
personally,
he does.
Personally, I outside of Chrissy, there's not a human being who I talk to more.
Facts.
So Facts. I'm aware that R&B is not really his jam. Like,
I like some of it.
There are songs, yeah, right. So I was aware that that's kind of like I said it before on the show. We got away from it because we had this massive run of terrible fucking stories. I feel like it's been like a year and a half. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I like to have topics where we have disagreements because that makes it a little bit more interesting. That makes it so that us having these conversations and finding whatever common shit can help people that hear it and they feel strongly away or too strongly away and shit like that. So that
plus the reality is this I would say that this has been a good year for pop culture conversations.
Absolutely.
Starting with my man
with Cat Williams. Yep.
And then coming with, to me, the crescendo, unless something else super stupid happens the rest of this year, Drake and Kendrick, right? Right? Like, to me, I don't know what's going to top that as far as just the
only thing that can push Drake and Kendrick down to number 2 that I have any idea of is if something else happens with Diddy.
Yo, Jason, I like watching y'all dump. Listen, GA. The reason we do that is because of the motto right there. Your heroes have no power here. Too many motherfuckers have been putting people on pedestals, and I know you understand this. I know you understand it. Too many people put motherfuckers on pedestals that be doing shit just because you happen to like what they do for a living. You think what they do for a living is cool. Nah, that's not enough. If you do something shitty, we gonna say it's shitty, and I don't care what your fan base, what your barbs say, or your beehive, or your whatever. Yeah. I don't care, your e-hives. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? What motherfuckers have to, because you gotta hold motherfuckers accountable, right?
Thanks.
You gotta hold them accountable. The idea that a motherfucker think just because they talented in one way, that all of a sudden that excuses some bullshit behavior, the mistreatment of people, the disrespect of people, just outright fuckery. No, and I see too many podcasts will do this, a similar version of it, but they do it in bad faith. They only want to get the clicks. They only want to get things. Right. So let's say something fucked up about somebody so we can get the buy. No, that's not what we're doing here. If we fuck with you and you ain't did nothing that we can find that's fucked up, we gonna gush. That's my man's. That's my chick right there. Like, yo, you can't say nothing about her. But if you come out this motherfucker, I don't give a fuck if you just gave me 5 albums of the illest shit ever. We find out you out
here. You want some bullshit? You want some bullshit?
On
that's what it is. It don't matter if you're listen. Throughout the run, I want to say in the last 5 years.
How you finish?
Facts. No, facts. Facts.
Fucking
facts. No, listen. Throughout this last 5 years, I have had to drop my favorite rapper producer, my favorite comedian. There's probably another person. One of my favorite actors. One of my favorite R&B artists. For those who don't understand,
African Bambaataa. Fuck up out of here.
For those who don't know the references, KRS-One got to go.
African Bambaataa and that bullshit.
Yeah. But yeah, the people that I was talking about: Kanye, Chappelle, Kelly, and Kevin Spacey. Even though the funny thing about the Kevin Spacey thing is,
You saying that
he went to court
at the end? He did go to court for that. He did,
and he won.
He did win.
And I don't know what to do with that information.
I don't know what to do with it either. That's why I stopped talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because I'm not gonna sit here and act like the American court system is what washes you. No, well, fuck it don't.
Two things. That statement is still true, but it was in UK. Statement's still true.
It's still true. UK, yeah. Go talk to the niggas over there in the UK about this. Right. So that's why when you reminded me of something. This conversation reminded me of something. I need to update two statements that I always make. Okay.
One, I generally say nobody has ever actually been canceled except for Kevin Spacey.
Facts.
That's not true anymore because he just got an award. No, he just got an award for something. Okay. And he's about to start being the shit again.
Nobody has.
Yeah. And the other one is something I just thought of that I used to say, because we don't talk about this often because I don't really like talking about it. The whole ally thing. Mm-hmm. I used to say there's only one ally that we can hold to this standard that people like putting allies, and that was Jane Elliott. But we've recently seen that she's been on some bullshit. So now I can't even.
That's why.
And I want to be clear about that. We don't do this shit because we like it.
Hell no.
This shit hurts.
You have to go at somebody that you respected, you looked at. Right. I made a commitment a long fucking time ago. Y'all know one of my favorite people to have ever existed in the history of apes walking upright and building shit is Stan Lee. Mm-hmm. Let me find out.
Right.
Stan Lee was on some bullshit that I think, I didn't know. And that's gonna hurt.
Yes.
And I'm still gonna do it. Right? I'm still gonna do it.
Without question.
That. The principle come before these individuals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because the thing is, some of the shit that we be getting on motherfuckers for, like, there's a way not to be that guy.
Bruh!
There's a way not to be that guy. And you said, fuck it.
Yes, you say, I'm just going to do it anyway.
I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm going to do it anyway. Like, come on, bro.
I don't be liking that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I don't be liking that shit. Like, listen, we all have shortcomings, failings.
Absolutely, yes.
But if I don't see you actively working at, like, I actively work at my shortcomings all the time by questioning my own things. Like I've always said, like, the first person you should be questioning is you.
Yes.
For you to go and question everybody else around and not question yourself, a little arrogant. You should be like, it's a real simple question too. You don't need a questionnaire, just one. Why do I think that's true? That's it.
Or, am I wilding?
Right. Or in the more slang-filled colloquialism, am I bugging? Am I bugging? Because I could be bugging. And enough people don't do that shit. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't because it's uncomfortable. And I get it. You know, you start to identify with your opinions. But this is why I always said, I feel like my credibility, I value that more than my opinion. So when motherfuckers run around here, they place opinion up on this high thing. Well, I can have an opinion. Yo, yes, you can. But don't you want credibility?
Right.
So now maybe you out there, you make some shitty opinion, and then you are shown not to be correct.
Right.
And that it's shitty.
Right.
That's some working on you might need to do. Right?
And then you get quiet.
You doubling down on dumb, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like
stay away from the double down, man.
This is a reason. This is another reason that I found this hilarious. So I watched this video where they were talking about artificial intelligence, if fully developed in the way that it is imagined to be in the future. We don't know what's going to happen. But if it does, that it will effectively erase a lot of industries that people work. And if you take the work element away from people, what would they do? I laughed because I said, here's one thing you motherfuckers could do. You can spend your time working on being better people.
Yo.
I'm just saying.
Thanks.
I'm just saying You could spend some time working on being better people.
Yeah, but that's not realistic. The actual answer is they will still be trying to find ways to accumulate more money.
Of course they will.
Yeah.
Of course they will.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's an option.
I mean, yeah, but
some motherfuckers work on being better people because you stink. And no, listen, somebody got to tell them.
They can just bathe.
Somebody got to tell them. You stink. And we see the vapors of that aroma all online. And every comment thread, and every post, and every piece of content that you'll see on fucking TikTok to YouTube. You stink of poor character. You stink of selfish opinions, biased takes. You fucking stink of a lack of self-reflection. You fucking stink.
Thanks.
And you need
Shut up, Augment. Yo said.
Hey, yo said. Hey, yo.
All right, on that note.
Augment ain't shit. Yeah, he ain't shit. He said, hope Adequate is listening. Hey, yo, you was wrong. You was dead ass wrong.
We can review.
Let me get mine. Now, hold on. I want to give you an update on this motherfucking cat. Which cat, you might ask? Not that bastard ass black cat, because he's still doing the same shit. So that ain't really changed. The oldest cat in the house, though, got a bit of medical news. And I was going to talk about this a little differently because until I got the full context, this a couple days ago. Took her into the vet thing. Remember I told you? Get the blood test and all that other shit. So typically if they find there's a increase in calcium or whatever, it could potentially be cancer. Remember when I told you she had cancer because this is what one of the doctors diagnosed her as having. Good afternoon, Siobhan. So went and took another blood test. Different doctor, of course. Turns out she doesn't have cancer.
Huh.
Now, either it went into some sort of remission or whatever, but the odds are she never had it.
Yikes. Because
that first doctor, there are certain things that he was supposed to do that he did not do in the analysis of the test, the blood test and all that. So the first way I was going to talk about it was that, because I've often said about this particular cat, she's scared of every fucking thing. The power of fear is a motherfucker. The power of fear got rid of that cancer. But no, it's looking like she never really had the shit. So the reason she's doing all this goddamn peeing, we still don't exactly know, but it's looking like it's because for whatever reason, her fear activates a hunter-prey thing in certain other cats. If you're constantly running away, there's a little chase thing being activated there. Oh, running away, which means I must chase. This must be something that I must be chasing. And in the process of doing that, there may have been times when she went to the litter box and with her little scary ass doing all this shit, looking like prey. One of the other cats could have bum rushed her before she got there. So then she got scared to go in that enclosed environment because it's one of those enclosed ones. Scared to go in there. So she said, look, a nigga still got pee, right? A nigga still got pee regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going here. That could be it. We still don't know. But I find it interesting that in this whole period of time, we used to have a pee pad right there, right? In a certain area that she would always go. But we put a little litter box there now. And she's going in it. So what the? fuck? Why? Why have you ruined our carpet in the old house? Why? Did you pee on my bed? Why?
Mm.
When you clearly you still understand that, yeah, this is where I go and do my thing. Now, I don't know. You said you was going to get a cat. I am interested in seeing how that turns out.
Nigga, I've had a bunch of cats before.
I'm just saying you haven't had a cat.
I'm not new to this.
You haven't had a cat in a while. So I'm interested in hearing the stories about the cat jumping off the curtains on your ass, getting entangled in your threads. Like,
oh, that's gonna happen. that's gonna happen. Because it's gonna be a kitten. So that's absolutely gonna happen.
I'm interested in seeing that. Because I happen to believe that for whatever reason, this household, we tend to get the asses, weirdest cats ever. Now, I don't have anything to contrast it with because before meeting my wife, I didn't have cats.
Right.
So I don't have an example except for my aunt, who I never heard her talk about any of this bullshit. Like none of this. None of the stuff. It was the cat was like we brought the cat down to the house a couple of times for whatever reason. It chilled. It just I'm napping. I'm sitting over here looking out the window. That's not and also this was the stereotypical cat that didn't care about
well. Cats behave. Even an individual cat will behave different in different environments.
Mm-hmm. And I do get that now. But I didn't get that then.
Right.
She was my example of what a cat was, a house cat, because I told y'all before during my era time where I grew up, cats were vermin. If you was out there out in the street peeing in alleyways and yowling at night and all that shit, they were vermin. You know, they ain't no collar on. You're vermin. You might as well be a rat, right? It wasn't until I actually had some experience with house cats living in the house. You start to see, oh no, they got different personalities. They're not even not like that. But we have yet to have one cat that A, didn't give a fuck, B, mind their motherfucking business, or C, not do some weirdo shit.
Right.
Every last one of them. Weirdo shit. It's ridiculous.
I only had 2 cats that did the whole not caring, mind their business thing.
For real. Just
only
2.
2. Yeah, out of all of the cats that I've been around, I think I've only really dealt with 2 that were like that.
I'm starting to think it's a problem with the breed. Bro, we had a fair, no less than 4 cats have been in this house at any given time.
Mm-hmm.
Any house we've been.
Yeah.
Right. Since I've been with my wife, we lived in 3 different houses. No less than 4. And they be all on some weirdo shit. They do. Cosmic said they're kind of like the lizards of mammals. Listen. All I can tell you is it's never a dull moment and they be getting on my goddamn nerves.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you love them. You wind up loving them because they become part of the family, right? So that sucks too. Mm-hmm. And I really want that boy to go outside. But I also know if he goes outside, according to the statistics, outside cats live like 3 years.
Yeah.
Shit happens. We had some outliers.
Right.
So in the last 12, 13 years, whatever, going outside. She was smart, though, smarter than the average. So she wasn't gonna get jammed up in nothing goofy, right?
Right.
And she knew how to avoid trouble, how to take care of herself if she got in trouble, and make her way home from probably any distance. We used to joke about how she probably went to Baltimore on many different days. We was living out in Laurel. Made her way back and shit. Like she was smart. She was smart as shit. The other thing this week, real quick. Usually I'll save this for the promotion part. It's just been a music.
You're welcome.
No, I don't know. No, you're not doing that. Nobody thanking you for that. It's just been a music, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it because even this morning, early this morning, 3 in the morning, I'm working on some shit. This is not supposed to be what it is.
Oh no, this is exactly what it is.
It's not supposed to be what the fuck it is.
You think that you can change, but that's just the top layer. Man, you was what you was when you got here.
Stop it. Stop it. Cut it out. So, just saying, if you happen to see some rollouty type things going on, that has something to do with something. Something to do with something.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, music finds a way.
Shut up. But yeah, that's my week.
All right. So for the first time in a while, I've actually had a week substantial enough to talk about. So I'm trying to get through this quickly.
Right.
So we had Chrissy's godson for the weekend.
Shut up, Arbor.
Last weekend, and that's why the people listening don't know, but that's why I had to dip out on Tim and Eddie so abruptly, because we had to go to the store to get stuff for him and shit. But we obviously had to get back before he showed up. As usual, kids love me, so that was cool. Chrissy be fake annoyed whenever she sees this happen. Like, people in general, and then more specifically children, are just fucking drawn to me for some reason. And sometimes it's annoying as fuck. With children, I don't really have an issue with it because I like children. But
you can like
these adults, these adult humans, I'm not really. Anyway, so I reciprocate the energy to children most of the time. We went to the movies, see Inside Out 2. I didn't really care to be there because I had never seen the first one.
Which one? Quiet Place?
No, Inside Out.
Oh, Inside Out. Okay.
Yeah, I had never seen the first one, so I didn't really care to be there, but I was forced to attend. And from what I saw of the movie, it was cool. I now might go back and watch the first one. No, I ain't gonna sleep. I ain't gonna sleep. I was on my phone because I never saw the first one, so it was like there are parts of the
phone in the movie theater.
Yes, I am one of those people. No, I am now one of those people because I don't usually do that. But
this nigga,
like I said,
in the theater while everybody watching doing some shit.
I did, yo.
Hell no.
Did you not like that, nigga? I mean, I was playing games on my phone. So
man. You play a lot of games.
So we got to the point where it was like big ramp up, you know, that part where you know you're about to get towards the end of the movie.
Third act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the movie just cut off. It's funny because the scene that we were on when the movie cut off was a tension builder. So it took a little second to realize that the abrupt shift to a black screen wasn't a part of the movie. Yeah. So we sat there after we realized it. We sat there for like 35 more minutes waiting for them to fix the issue. Eventually, dude came in. And he like, we can't get it to start working again. We're gonna go ahead and give y'all refunds or gift cards, whichever one you want. So we did that. The rest of the weekend was chill. Like I said, we had her godson. He was supposed to be with us from Saturday afternoon until Monday morning. More on that when I talk about Tuesday morning. See, it was a tension building scene that was happening, and then it just cut to black. So I'm like, oh, something is about to get or maybe we don't know.
You never got to finish it,
right?
Maybe that was an artistic choice by the director.
I know, right?
Did you ever?
This is how the movie ends. You have to figure out the rest.
Right.
Like, wait, what?
This is a choose your own ending.
So, like I say, he's supposed to be with us from Saturday afternoon to Monday morning. More on that when I talk about Tuesday morning. Floor. So we still have a couple issues with the house that are a bit more involved than just, hey, put a wrench to it. But that also don't really cause any issues. It's just things that we know are not how they're supposed to be. But it don't really come up in everyday life. So for long periods of time, we forget about these things. Mm-hmm. One of those things was the kitchen floor had like a tile that was like slightly sticking up, slightly raised. So if you're someone who drags your feet, you might get caught. No, it's not. It wasn't raised high enough for you to actually trip, but you are going to catch the towel.
And catch on your toe when it's going to kind of hurt a little bit.
That could hurt.
Sting a little bit.
So, but because I know I work here, I know how short-staffed the maintenance crew is. I don't really press them about shit that doesn't affect us on a normal basis. Like if it's something that actually affects, oh no, we gotta get this. Yeah, we gotta get this taken care of.
Right.
The other shit, I ain't really tripping about that. I just remind them every now and then. Well, one part was the kitchen floor. Like I said, it wasn't a tripping hazard or anything, but you could catch your sock on it and get a hole in your sock or some shit like that. Like that's absolutely possible. So they tried to take care of it before, and what the person tried to do didn't work. So it's like, all right, we got another thing that we can try to do. I'm like, all right, cool. That was a little while ago. Then I reminded them recently. So last Friday, they had tried to do that other thing. That didn't work. So you're like, all right, we got to replace the whole floor. Okay, damn. Cool. I mean, new floor, whatever. Pretty much a bunch of the things, not everything, but a good deal of the things that ended up being wrong with the unit, they was just like, fuck it, give them a new one. I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Right. So
listen, it's better than some of the shit I dealt with.
No, absolutely, nigga. So it turned out the only time they could do it was Tuesday. So I told Chrissy, she told me see if they could do another day. Check. They said if it wasn't Tuesday, it would probably be a week plus before they get to it. So Tuesday it was. Now, from the time they came in to fix that one spot until Monday afternoon, one of us had talked to maintenance about 3 times about this floor replacement that was upcoming.
Right.
At no point did any of them mention anything except that it had to be done and when it had to be done. With everything else going on, it slipped my mind until Monday evening that everything needed to be moved out of the kitchen. But I was thinking that maybe they were going to do it in sections.
Excuse me.
So like
they're doing the whole floor.
No, listen. I thought that they were going to do it in sections. So like they slide shit over here and do this section. They slide the shit back over here, do that section. In that case, that would have been fine. Found out Tuesday morning that wasn't the case. But again, we're going to get to Tuesday morning. So I haven't talked about it in a while, but at one point I was updating y'all on the process we were going through to find a new software at work. Well, that decision has been made. And in preparation for that, I had to get a bunch of examples of things we do at the rental offices so we can give them to the people to be able to implement into this new solution. I've also told y'all we just opened our training center. What better place to get the examples of everything we're supposed to do than the fucking training managers? I mean, so I asked them. Well, no, that turned out to be right. I asked them to help me out with that. They started making a whole book for me that I can give to my boss to give to the people. So that's what I was there for. But it turns out they got a new copier. Right. I just told y'all the week before last about how terrible that process can be when we get new copiers. But this was different. That copier wasn't actually new. It was a copier that we already had downtown that we got some years back, but that absolutely nobody in the entire fucking office ever uses. One of the reasons nobody used it was because it was in the basement. The other reason is because we had it set up so that in order to use it, you had to put in a passcode. And each person had their own individual code so that they could track who was doing what. Why the fuck would I leave my floor and come down to the basement just to have to put in a fucking code? No, so nobody used it. Nobody ever used it. We have about, and here's the thing. I have no idea why they suddenly now cared about who was doing what. Because we have probably 20 other copiers. And not a single one of them is set up that way. Not even the ones in the downtown office. And not even the new ones that we have gotten since they got this one.
Right.
Even the new ones we've gotten after they got this one are not set up that way. Just specifically that one for some reason. I don't know. Not even the one, matter of fact, the one that it was allegedly supposed to be replacing when we got it, that wasn't even locked down. So I don't know. I have no idea. So I get to the training center. My coworker says to me, "We can't make copies." I instantly remembered why, because it wasn't on my mind. I didn't realize it. But when she said that, I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, okay." Right. So I started to get mad because why the fuck didn't they turn this feature off if they were bringing the copier to y'all?
You was hot.
Yeah, slightly. I had zero experience with this fucking feature, so I had no idea where it was or how to turn it off, and I wasn't involved with it being turned on. So I called my supervisor. That's not my supervisor. She was like, "Shit, I don't know." She just gave me her code so they could use her code.
Figure it out, so
I thought that this whole code shit was just for local activities, just for copying, scanning, faxing. So I proceeded to connect the copier to the computers in the training center. I printed out a status page so I can get the IP address. I get to the part on both PCs where I put the IP address in, look at the IP address on the status page, and it's still the IP range from the downtown office. Not the biggest deal in the world, but definitely not what I expected. I go into the settings of the copier. I change the IP to the right range. I restart the copier's network so the changes can take effect. I put what should now be the copier's IP address into the PCs. I get an error. Okay, I go into the command prompt. I ping what the copier's IP should be. It comes back unreachable. Go back to the copier. I restart the whole copier thinking maybe somehow it just never got a chance to apply the update.
Right.
Copier restarts. I go back to ping it again. Still unreachable. I print out a new status page, and the copier has the right IP address now. I've never had that happen before. So I sit there for a second, and I try to figure out what could possibly be causing this behavior. Maybe the copier isn't plugged into the network. So I looked at the Ethernet port on the copier. There's a cable. All right, cool. I trace that cable back. Now, I don't know how many people remember this, but I gave a very elementary class on what the difference between a router and a dumb switch is. A router routes things. I know you couldn't have possibly gotten that on your own. You're welcome. Yes. Routers create / extend networks. Switches connect devices on a network. That's the main difference. Whoever connected this copier apparently thought that the Wi-Fi router that was sitting on the table was a switch, and they connected the copier to it. Was that the biggest deal in the world? No. But if I knew what was happening, I could have advised whoever to leave it alone until I got there. Just leave it alone. They've been this long without a copier. They can last a day.
What if they had an emergency copier?
Nope, ain't no way. They're connected to a rental office that has 2 copiers in it. They can walk up the steps. It's fine.
What if they got a bum knee?
Nope, we're not doing that. The phones work. They could have called somebody upstairs to get them to do it and walk it down. Nah, there's no excuse.
They had an ear infection.
Nope, we're not doing that. So as I'm typing my notes, as I was typing my notes for this, I remembered that I had got a call several days prior from someone who was having issue with a copier, but it wasn't clear. They weren't really clear on what exactly was happening. My initial thought was, if this is what they were talking about, then I'm tripping. Because they did tell me, right? But then I thought about it a little bit more. No. If that person was listening to what the fuck I was saying on the phone,
right,
which I would hope they were because they called me for help, it should have been clear to them that I was talking about a different copier in a different location. Also, if this is what they were calling me about, they knew that the setting to have the shit locked down was still on there, and it required a password code for everything, and they still never said that to me.
Right.
But anyway, I connected the copier to what it should actually be connected to, and now I was able to ping it. I put the IP address into the PCs. It finished installing. At the end, when you install a printer, Windows asks you if you want to print a test page. I always do it for shigs. Error. But, okay, turns out that setting that locks everything down is actually for everything. It's for printing as well. So now I had to go and explore the copier's fucking settings to try to find out how to add a user. And in looking for how to add a user, I ended up stumbling upon how to turn off the whole setting completely. So I just turned that shit off because we don't need that.
Right.
So that part was a win. Now, in order to install the copiers, I had to put the driver on the PC. I have the drivers on a thumb drive that I carry around with me. But you remember how far back it was that I started installing the fucking printer? So by this point, I forgot that my thumb drive was in the PC. I left without it.
Fail.
That coworker called me a few hours later when she found it. She had to go to the office, the rental office at this complex that I live at, and she said she would leave it there.
Right.
Cool. Couple hours later, I get a text from her saying, "Oh shit, I forgot to leave it. I have to come back there in the morning. I'll bring it to you then." Okay, cool. Now we get to Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning, I wake up around 6:40-ish every weekday to get ready for the long day amongst you filthy goddamn apes. My morning shower time is essential. It is time that I can be alone and mentally prepare myself for the upcoming shenanigans. Nigga, I hate people. Yeah. That's been established. I don't know what the fuck y'all thought I was talking about, but I hate people. So so I can get ready for the shenanigans mentally and all that other good shit. So most of the time, 20 minutes in, well, if I don't wake up until my alarm goes off, I'm probably in the bed for about 40 minutes or so. There are times when I wake up before my alarm. So, most of the time, 20 minutes into my 40 minutes, I haven't stepped foot in the actual shower yet. That usually depends on how sleepy I am.
You in there doing push-ups?
I'm playing games on my phone, listening to music. I'm relaxed. I'm getting ready for the day ahead. So this particular morning, I was decently rested. So I was in there my normal time. I went in and my ritual began, and I was getting ready to get I was just about to get in the shower. My phone rings. It's the coworker with the thumb drive. Oh shit. Okay. She's almost at my complex. She's driving around to my house. So I had to put my damn clothes back on, put shoes on, go outside to get that. Okay.
Don't you hate when you have shoes on?
Nigga. Oh my God. So I did that. I got back in the house. I put it somewhere that I wouldn't forget to take it with me. And I started preparing myself again to get in the shower. I'm now ready to get into the shower again. I get to my phone because I left my phone in the bathroom. I get to my phone. It's ringing again. It was the maintenance man reminding me that they were coming that day, and that then he casually mentioned that I had to remove everything from the kitchen.
Yeah.
We'll be there in a few minutes, and I need you to remove all the shit from your kitchen. Okay.
I need everything out of the kitchen, you goddamn ape. I know you don't think that we was going to do the move.
Bullshit. They should have. Listen.
We get I finish the floor, not the fucking movers.
Bullshit. How you going to finish the floor if it's sitting away anyway?
Because you
no, I get it. So on top of being later than normal getting into the shower because I had to leave to go get my flash drive, and then I had to sit on the phone with this motherfucker for a couple of minutes. I had a lot of physical labor to do before I left the house. So short shower, I get enough clothes on so if the guy comes in while I'm still downstairs, I'm not giving him a free show. I move all the stuff. No, it's not preferable. No. I move all the stuff from the kitchen to the living room. Chrissy comes downstairs. Her godson's coming back.
Oh,
apparently, the people who picked him up miscalculated something, so he now had to bring him back to our house, and his father was going to come pick him up from our house. But his father gets to our house before he does. Then finds out that he actually wasn't being dropped off to us, and his father had to go get. I'm like, yo, mind you, his father lives 30 to 35 minutes away from us. So I know he was pissed.
You should have said, he'll be here in a minute.
That ain't had nothing to do with me.
But in the meantime, could you help me move?
You stupid. No, all the shit was moved already by then, my nigga. Actually, I was gone by the time he got here.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I was gone by the time he got here.
Yeah. That was a system foul up.
Nigga.
Damn.
So Wednesday was the prototypical worst kind of work day where I know there are going to be a bunch of people off, and it was likely going to be a short day. And I would only be off for one day, and I was downtown the whole day, and I didn't really have enough to do for time to pass.
When you say you are downtown, are you saying you were in the downtown office?
Yes, I was in the office all day.
When I
did not have a bunch of no.
You chilling? You went down to Gallery
Mall? No, I was in the office without a whole. That's my point. I didn't have enough work to do that day to make the day pass quickly. So it was just annoying, bro. Oh my god,
that's the worst, bro.
It's the absolute worst. So after I got off, came home, put the kitchen back together, straightened up the living room, washed clothes, worked on some stuff in the studio, put the stuff for the cat. I didn't mention that. My mother's cat. Mm-hmm. My mother's cat. I think I said it last week though. My mother's cat was coming over here. So I had to put stuff in for the cat in places that they needed to be, but without fully setting them up because we were still having people coming over Thursday. And then I had to move a moderately heavy box down to the basement. While I was putting the kitchen back together, I realized that they hadn't finished the floor. Of course not, because we work for the same fucking company. They got off early too.
Right.
So, but what they made sure to do was to have enough of it done that we could function. Like it's only a couple small spots that aren't done. So shout out to them for that because that could have went differently. And it would have been some furniture move. Well, literally. It would have been some issues because I would have called whoever the fuck I needed to call to get them to because no, I have something to do. We're not doing. But anyway, they didn't. Right. So luckily it didn't end up that way. Chrissy picked up her goddaughter. She stayed with us that night. Then we get to the 4th. I effectively had to immediately start cooking when I woke up on Thursday. My grill isn't the biggest, and we were having people over, and I was cooking ribs. Ribs take hours to cook on the grill. My grill is only big enough to hold one slab at a time with the indirect heat method, so I was effectively cooking from like 10-ish to almost like 6 or 7 when I finally just handed the grill off to Dion. Here, you go ahead, do the rest of that. I'm gonna sit here and chill. I'm stay and chill. We had a great time though. After they left, we had to start the process of actually putting some of this cat stuff together because my mother was bringing the cat the next morning.
Oh wow!
The cat's
there now?
Yes, the cat is here now. So
why is the cat not in the room? You should have brought him on the stream so that people can see the cat.
What I tell you? Oh. The cat will never see the inside of the studio. It's not happening. She almost got in here yesterday because when my mother dropped the cat off, she stayed here for a little while, and the cat was just exploring the house, following Chrissy around. As soon as my mother said she was leaving, cat ran into the carrier. And after my mother left, basically the cat stayed in that carrier.
Yeah, I don't know you. I don't know y'all, man.
From whatever time that was until I think about 6 o'clock when I came up here and I went into the room that the carrier and stuff is in, and I noticed she wasn't in the carrier. I'm like, oh shit, where's she at? I text Chrissy like, come here quietly. because I thought maybe the cat was under the futon that I was sitting on, but I didn't want to make any sudden movements or anything to scare her and have her run somewhere. Mm-hmm. So Chrissy comes up the steps. I make eye contact with her. I'm like, yo, is the cat under the futon? She looks. No, the cat's not under the futon. All right, cool. Where the fuck is the cat? The cat's behind the door. Oh. I look behind the door. I'm like, oh, she right there.
Some more goofy shit they can't see. Why are you?
She stayed behind the door for hours. My mother finally texted about the cat, so I went back into that room. I opened the door a little bit so I could see her fully. I started to take a picture of her. Well, apparently she knew that I was trying to take a picture of her. Because when I did that, she started walking towards me. Now she's under the futon again.
She's so paparazzi, B. Like that shit is annoying.
So that happened. I came in here to work on some music. Came out, she's still under the futon. All right, fine. Eventually, I went and got into bed. Chrissy got back here like 11 something. We went to sleep. 1 o'clock in the morning, I randomly wake up. I sit up and turn around. The cat's in the doorway of the bedroom. I'm like, oh shit. And Chrissy was up.
That's like a horror film scene.
I'm like, babe, that's what's in here. I look at her. She don't run enough, so I'm like, all right, cool. She just turns around and walks out of the room. I'm like, all right, cool. She didn't run into the other room though, so that's a little bit of progress.
She was trying to figure where am I?
Yeah, no,
who are these motherfuckers?
It's a little bit of progress. I'm like, all right, cool. I got up to go to the bathroom. When I got up to go to the bathroom, she still did not run into the room. She walked onto the top landing where the steps are. All right, cool. Came out the bathroom. When I came out the bathroom, I guess I made too much noise for her, and she did run back into it. So laid back down for a little bit. Woke up around like 3 or something. She's in the doorway again. This time I called her and she started walking towards me. She went under the bed. Got under the bed for a couple minutes, left, back out. I went to sleep for good then. When I finally woke up, I went to look for her. She was back under the futon. And by the time I started the show, she was still under the futon. That's home. Now, Chrissy's gone, and I'm in here. So she might be out the room again.
I mean, it's possible.
But I don't know. She does hear me. Right. She's in the very next room. So she hears me. So maybe she's still under the fucking futon. But like, bruh.
This is like, who? She was doing her Seinfeld voice. Who are these fucking apes? Before I even get comfortable. Well, first of all, where'd you put the food at?
It's in the room with her.
Is it near the carrier or
not? It's not that big a room.
Oh,
but yeah, everything she needs is in that room, just in case this type of thing happened and continues the whole time she's here. So everything she needs is in the room. But she has stuff.
Do you think it's going to continue the whole time?
Based on what happened, based on the fact that when my mother was still here, she was following Chrissy around, and based on the fact that she does not run at the sight of us.
Right.
She does not run when she realizes we notice her.
Right.
I kind of think it's going to get better. Now, how much better? I don't know.
So how old is the cat?
I believe she's like around a year-ish. I believe. She's not that old.
Right.
But the problem is, at my mother's house, she gets bullied by the other cat. That's why she's here, because my mother is about to go on a trip, and obviously she didn't want to leave them. No, she did not want to leave them.
How long is your mom going to be gone? Because that also has something to do with it too.
A week. She'll be gone for a week, so she'll have potential time to not get the most comfortable she could ever be, but feel like she can actually walk around a little bit.
So okay, so vacations and cats are easier than vacations with dogs.
Nigga, facts.
You're first of all, fuck what you heard, fuck what you think. Your dog loves you.
Oh
more than
anything.
Probably other family members.
Right.
Your dog loves you, and when you disappear,
it's hell.
They
think you're never coming back.
You're never coming back,
even if you just go to work.
Yeah,
fuck a vacation.
Every time I literally watched my grandfather's dog, Queenie. Every time around the same time, every day, she would post up by that front door because Taylor's coming home. He better be coming home. Right. This is the time he usually comes home. And even when he passed, she was still doing it. Until my grandmother finally got fed up with it, took her to the graveyard. Taylor's right here. All right. She never did it again after that.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Cat's a little different because while, let's be clear, they do give a fuck. We not doing that. I've heard this. These cats give a fuck. But especially if you're not the type to like you don't yourself feed the cat, you let them free range, put their food out there and the water out there, and they go when they're hungry to eat and shit like that. You can go for a couple of days.
Oh yeah.
And you don't have to worry about the house being fucked up because a dog will fuck your house up out of depression and desperation and shit. You know what I'm saying? But the cat won't do that. The cat will eat its food. It'll nap when it wants to nap. It'll change places.
Well, let me clarify. The cat won't fuck your house up any more than they do on a regular basis.
They order on a regular basis. In other words, they scratch the couch, nigga. They're gonna scratch your couch. That's it. I'm saying, but I'm talking. I've heard horror stories of dogs destroying rooms out of desperation, frustration. How dare you leave me? Like that sort of shit. And then when you come back, that's why it's one of the reasons why we haven't got a dog, because I would have been had a dog. Because I'm one of the people that believe humans don't deserve dogs.
Right.
Y'all motherfuckers don't deserve something that low. That look, y'all suck for real. Like, and you see it every so often. We see a motherfucker mistreat a dog. See this dog still loves him. And you look at the shit this motherfucker's doing, right? We would have been had a dog. But we also like to travel, even though we don't do it as much as we would like. When we do it, I don't want to have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Right. Everything else, I'm good with. The walking them, training them, do all that. I'm good with that. We like to be gone sometimes. If I'm taking a trip somewhere for a week, I'm going out of the country for the week and shit. I don't want to be worried about, damn, boy, I wonder if my computer and shit is still standing. That's where he usually sit. I don't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Cosmic says, my cat's more likely to tear me and the other cat who's almost twice the size up than my place. God damn. God damn.
Oh, man.
So when are y'all planning on getting the cat? Y'all getting the cat?
So shortly after she leaves is when we'll really start. My mother my mother sent so much cat shit. Like, because she was like,
is it safe to say she went cat shit crazy?
Yo, nigga. She was like, y'all getting your cat soon, right? I said, yeah. She said, all right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy stuff and I'm gonna send it to y'all. So all the permanent stuff y'all just have for when y'all have y'all cat. So we already got a head start.
Damn.
Because it would have been a lot for her to transport all of some shit here. So like she brought a couple things from the house, but Mostly, she bought new stuff and said here, and she's like, "Y'all about to get a cat anyway." So, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Boy or girl, it doesn't not matter.
Girl, Chrissy's terrified of the whole spraying thing.
Yeah, the thing is, just get them fixed, man.
Yeah,
fixed. They don't. We've had since I've been living here, we've had 4 boy cats.
Right.
The problem we had was with the girl cat, because for whatever reason, the scheduling of them getting fixed, that was Zora, the scheduling of her getting fixed kept falling on a really weird date. It had a weird cadence. We didn't know why it was around. Right. so because of that, we caught hell for quite a bit of time with Zora and that yelling shit. And I mean, if y'all have never heard
bruh, a cat in heat, that sound is ungodly.
That shit is, it's like if you are on the outside walking past a house and you hear that shit, you gonna call the police. Because you gonna think somebody is in there being violated. I mean, we talking, Zora had this one thing, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This cannot stand. I could not stand Zora for a long period of time, yo. Because of that, and she was super dumb.
Over there caterwauling.
Oh my, bro. She doing that, and then she was super dumb. And then we started feeding her this shit that had good for brain development or some shit. That's what was on the bag. My wife swears to me that's on the bag, but I'm dragging it. That's what she swears. I'm like, listen, all I can tell you is she went from being the dumbest cat ever to being a Mensa cat. She was MIT bound.
No, you stupid.
Nigga, listen. I'm telling you. I've never seen the like ever since or before.
Right.
She was dumb as shit. And we got her from this old lady that was standing outside the Walmart. We was living in Law. She had a box of cats. And she had a sob story to go with it. My husband won't let me keep all these cats. The cat just had these kittens. He ain't gonna let me keep them, so I gotta get away from them. So you had to pick Zora for the home. He was dumber than dog nuts.
Oh my God. For
a while. And then, like I said, she started eating that food. Next thing you know, she's conjugating verbs.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
Listen. This motherfucking cat, yo, she got brilliant. And she wound up going from being the dumbest cat in the house to the smartest cat on the East Coast. And 2, she went to being my favorite. And I'm going to tell you why. She's my favorite because she ain't like other cats. Love people. Didn't like cats. Now, I ain't relate to the loving people shit. But it was beneficial because I'm people, right?
Facts.
She would protect us the best she knew how, right? And she would keep the other cats in line. And that's what I started calling her the governor.
Right.
Because she was. Her little ass walk in the room. These cats bigger than her. Her little ass walk in the room. Motherfucker straighten up.
Facts.
Governor's in. Attention on deck. Like, that sort of shit, right? She coming up in there, and all of a sudden, motherfuckers minding their manners. My wife was in the kitchen, giving them treats. They wilding out. Now, typically, she done taught them to sit your ass on the floor before you get any goddamn treat. Sit down. And they sit down. But this day, they seemed a little extra. So they finally set their butts down. She put it down, and then they wild out again. I didn't even see Zora come in the kitchen. I just saw her land in the middle of them.
Yo.
Cat superhero landed. And they scattered to the 4 winds.
Bruh.
She ain't even eat nothing.
Crazy.
That was just crowd control.
Yeah.
That's all that was. She ain't even fuck with
Tell me all Mark answers them.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. don't calm your goofy asses down. All that you see mommy up there trying to the fuck. He did that shit too. Yo, she became my favorite because those cats annoyed me. He didn't like cats and she kept them in line. And on top of that, she was smart.
Right.
And then she was protecting us. She was protecting the house. Like, the fuck? Also, you know, I got great respect for a motherfucker that got heart. I go outside, she out there. It's this big, dumb, goofy ass, cross-eyed cat that would walk through the neighborhood like he owned the place. Because he did. At least when it came to other cats around there, nah. He was chief. He was the one chief rocker, number one chief. That's him.
Oh, goodness.
That's him. I saw him chase our boy cat, JB, up under a car. JB screaming the whole way. Ah! What the fuck? I go out there one day. Zora's in the back. She's sitting still, and I noticed who was right there on top of her. Like, basically, like right next to her. He's twice her size. Big dumbass head. And cross-eyed looking crazy. Oh, and he used to cock his head like Kane and shit. Like, that shit, right? Nigga. Zora stood her ground. Every he did, she gave him 3 or 4. All that swelling up, she's swelling up. I'll beat your ass out here. And that motherfucker, he was like, oh, damn, I'm not having the same effect on her as I have on all these other cats. Probably foxes. There's probably some other shit around there he didn't intimidate it too. Nah, nigga, nah. Not her. He turned around and he left. And then she got up, shook herself off a little bit. Fur went back down to regular size and walked over to me like, what's up, Dad? Ain't nobody scared of this nigga. Like, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying though, something in that food. So if I can discover what food that was, you might want to give it to your kid.
Yeah. Go ahead and slide me that.
Yeah. Brain development, bro. Like I'm trying to tell you.
Bro.
Developing their brains.
That's actually, yeah. We're gonna that's it. We're gonna end it on meow note.
On meow note. We're gonna end this meow. So we want to thank all of you.
Terrible.
Every single one.
Terrible pun.
Every single one of you for joining us for another rousing edition of Black Culture Geeks podcast. Your continued participation allows us to continue to do the show. We appreciate that greatly. Special shout out to the guy that messaged me the other day. Called me one of his favorite rappers of all time. Appreciate that. Shout out to him. Shout out, of course, to my sister, his significant other, Chrissy, and her show, Heard It Through the Grapevine. Be sure to go check that out. Also, check out my man Super Side Guy and Hendrix show, Metas and Mutants.
Right.
And just remember, there is always music. My man GA, shut up. My man GA has an album out. Go look on Gifted Anomaly on Bandcamp. You'll find it. It's fire.
Absolutely.
It's fire. It's fire. Also, we have old music. Go check that out. Get them streaming numbers up, even though I fucking hate streaming services, but it is what it is. Gotta work with what we work with. And there may possibly be
okay.
Something new. That might fit in some musical genre. Coming up soon. You might see some hints to it through the course of this next week. It's entirely possible.
Okay.
Some stuff about that. Shout out to our guy Adequate.
Absolutely.
That we shout out there. Another special shout out to my sister Marissa.
Absolutely.
100%. So for my man SPJ,
I
am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, we are out.
Peace.